That went everywhere.
Yeah, that's usually what happens with you, pal.
Especially when I'm sitting at a computer. Welcome to We Need Wrestling, everybody.
It's like a spooky ghost.
If you you keep talking to me that way, I won't save a Purple Thunder Mountain Dew for you.
How dare you?
Which is what I'm currently sipping on.
How is it?
I fucking love it.
Oh, god damn it.
Do you know what flavor it is?
It's like a berry plum.
Yeah, berry plum.
When you told me the other day that Thrash and Apple got discontinued, I almost bought a 12-pack for $45.
I looked online. You can get a couple. You can get you don't have to spend like $5 a can or something. But yeah,
I came very close.
It's funny.
It almost went down.
Yeah, I was upset because I really wanted to try it, and a lot of people said that was the best one. But
it was upsetting.
But I like the Purple Thunder. So
sweet. I'm excited to try it.
You'll try it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because welcome to WeNeedWrestling. A little bit of a different setup sound here. We are recording over Skype because we're road tripping tomorrow when we normally get together to record, and we are going to have a recording that you'll hear in the coming minutes with us, hopefully, unless I fuck something up, but with us and Joe and Adam from At Odds with Wrestling. We're going to Collision. So Brett and I decided we were going to throw something together here really quick because there was some things to talk about this week, and who knows what we're going to talk about when we're driving to the wonderful city of Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that could be said in that car.
There's a lot of things that can be said, that will be said, that you'll never hear. Maybe some additions to the $200 aspect of the At Odds Patreon, but we cover some things on the show that some other people don't, so we wanted to get together and kind of do that. But first things first, just like normal, how are you, pal? Haven't seen you in a couple days.
Yeah, dude. I'm good. When was the last time I saw you? When did I see you last? I don't remember. Friday? Was it Friday or was it last Thursday?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I'm not sure. Where are you? When did I see you?
What happened? Did we do something? Yeah, LVAC was Friday. That was the last time, right?
That's right. We'll probably talk about that a little bit during the car ride portion of the show.
Yeah,
that's right. We did do LVAC.
I was thinking about that today because I was looking for the pictures for no reason at all, and I was like, when the hell was this? And I was like, oh, it was literally like 5 days ago.
Yeah,
it seems like
a month ago.
Right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Week's been good. I've been fighting this heat. It is so hot downtown.
I bet. We got the ACs put in.
Yeah, man. It sucks. It sucks.
We're able to, up here in the woods at least, sort of open things up in the mornings because it's a little cooler and manageable in the morning. But by like mid-afternoon, it's like, nope, shut everything up. Let's go. We gotta, cool everything down.
I got up to pee last night. It was like 4:00 in the morning, and I walked to my bathroom, and it was like a heat wave just punched me right in the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's been brutal. It's gonna be brutal all week. So
I hope the PPL Center's cranking that AC tomorrow.
If not, someone's going to get a lot of my sweat all over them.
Yes, or yesterday as you're hearing this, I guess.
I know, it feels weird to talk in weird tense.
Yeah, because we're even 2 days ahead of normal. I don't know that we've ever, well, I guess we have, but recording on a Wednesday night is certainly odd for the both of us.
Yeah, it's weird. How are you?
I'm good, man. Had a weekend to myself because Michelle was traveling, hence the Purple Thunder, and she was in Ohio. I got some Star Wars Oreos. I got some Purple Thunder. Both packs of my Oreos were light side of the Force.
Ooh.
How dare you? But I know the trick, how to pick, how the thing that tells you which is which is supposed to be nothing, but I saw that there is something. So if we see them again, I'll know how to pick.
Yeah, I want my evil Oreos, damn it.
Unbelievable. You would.
Come on now. You're damn right I would.
They put little crunchies in the Oreo, the filling. It's weird.
That's weird. That is weird.
Yeah.
It's probably still good. Better than those Sour Patch Kid ones, Ed. Those things sucked.
Very much better than those Sour Patch Kid ones. They call them on the bag that they're little shards of Kyber crystals, which is incredibly fucking nerdy, even for Star Wars. But that's where we're at with our Oreos. They're blue or they're red, and they have shards of Kyber crystals in them. So
I like it. Good.
Yes. But all right, let's get down to what business we have here, and then we can handle the rest of our filthy business in the car tomorrow.
That sounds wonderful.
It does. The four of us, it's going to be filthy business. What do we want to start with? Do we want to talk wrestling news? I did Google wrestling news, and there is a big news thing that was revealed. Well, I guess it was on the Noah show, but it is news, so we can talk about it here.
Oh, yeah.
Or we can I already teased it. We're going to talk about it. AJ Styles is going to Noah to wrestle Marufuji.
Sure is, in July.
WWE and Noah are going to enter a partnership, which I fear is going to end up with WWE just absorbing Noah into like NXT Japan or whatever.
Well, Noah's, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Noah.
I don't know. I want them to survive because I love them very much, but they don't love me back all the time.
They sure don't.
But I did see that today, I guess yesterday, whatever, that the Good Brothers are apparently also traveling to Noah with AJ Styles. So. Oh,
good. They add a lot to wrestling nowadays.
I don't think they're going to work. I think they're just going to be in his corner.
Okay, that makes sense.
But who knows?
Sorry, I was taking a sip out of my gallon jug of water.
Unbelievable.
I've been drinking gallon jugs. That's how I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Good. That's good. You gotta make sure that those kidneys stay nice and crystal free.
Oh, brother.
Kyber crystal free.
Oh, somebody give me their new kidneys, please.
Okay. Well,
you can do that, right? Kidney transplants.
You can take one. Yeah, it's very common. You only need one.
Somebody give me one of those.
You only need one to live.
I need to take out the bad one.
Yeah, you're just technically, if you only have one, you're technically in kidney failure. Like even if it's healthy, just because you have one, you're technically at 50% capacity. It puts you in kidney failure. But like not dangerous. It's just like, medically they keep an eye on that because you only got one and it goes bad. Then you're really up shit's creek.
Well, I've been worse. No, I haven't been worse. That's what I'm saying.
It's when you get your lungs removed. That's the problem.
Oh, dude, I had a mocktail tonight.
Oh yeah,
I did.
What was it? Hold on. Let me guess. Let me compile everything I know about you. I'm gonna say that you had a mocktail and you were being a fancy bitch. And I'm going to guess that you had a Malibu Bay Breeze.
Nope. I wouldn't even know what that is.
Okay.
It was like, it was supposed to, so normally it's served as like a spiked lemonade.
Oh, okay.
But I got it unspiked and it was watermelon.
Okay.
And like right in the drink or whatever, it was a watermelon popsicle.
Oh.
And around the edge of the glass, they put that Taijin spicy stuff.
The Gaijin seasoning, yes.
Yes, the Gaijin seasoning.
Tastes like Stan Hansen, I get it.
So I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Yeah. And Ambria was like, you can lick it off the glass. I said, sure, why not? So I did, and then I was like, oh, and I almost died. And then, I enjoyed my mocktail.
Wow.
Look at me. I am fancy.
You're a fancy bitch.
I tell no lies, sir. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You might be the fanciest person on this whole network.
I'll wear that crown. I'm fine with that.
And a fancy crown it will be.
Damn right. Give me a crown.
Okay.
I want a crown now.
I'll crown you.
Oh,
It's like Jimmy King.
Oh, dude, I was just watching between the end of Dynamite and getting on the call. Yeah. I was watching the third episode of Who Killed WCW.
Oh, I watched it yesterday, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Vince Russo's such an asshole.
Dude, they're just like, he's just full of shit, man. I saw today that Hurricane Helms went at him about when Vince said he was like, or Vinny Rue said he was like better than 80% of that roster or whatever.
What an insane thing to say.
And Helms was like, I appreciate the bravado, but come on, man. And Vince Russo was like, nice to hear from you. I'll let the heat I got speak for itself.
Oh, my God.
And Hurricane said, I prefer my heat when it comes with money. So, no, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Vince Russo, what an idiot.
Yeah. Again,
it is funny because my PayPal picture is Vince Russo.
Yes.
But yeah, he sucks, man.
It's a show of liars. Only Bret Hart is telling the truth on that show.
100%. Never
The Rock
lied.
should not be on it.
Why? He's a former WCW champion.
Sure. I guess Charmel is probably telling the truth for most of it too. I think David Penzer is still like refuting the story about Booker winning the title and how Booker that was happening.
Yeah.
But that the lie they want to perpetuate from now on is that it was a last minute decision.
It's a better story.
Right. Bischoff is full of shit. Vince Russo's full of shit. They just lie. They make up new lies. I like the show.
It's
because
fun.
of the lies.
It's a harmless watch.
Right. But it's almost nothing is what happened for real. No, it just
bunch of idiots and a bunch of egos. That's it.
Right. They were super hot. They started to slip. They went a little insane, and they never caught back up. And it was just a downward fucking spiral. They were on top, and them being on top created Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that was the end. It was off to the races, and they were already dead. Like, just what it is.
Yeah.
The Attitude Era is a direct response to what WCW was doing. And it became one of the most popular and, most, high quality era of professional wrestling.
Sure did.
This is what it is. There's a lot of things that killed WCW. Eric Bischoff being one of them, Vince Russo being one of them, Hulk Hogan being a big piece of that.
Yep.
They're just what it is.
But ran out. That's all.
Is there only 4 episodes?
Yeah, only 1 episode left next Tuesday.
All right, so there you go. I was surprised at all of the Benoit mentions. I guess you have to, kind of, right?
I wasn't surprised. It's not a WWE show.
That's true. But he's just sort of persona non grata. But I guess you have to tell the story because he was champion and then 2 weeks later left. But I was just like, oh yeah, look at that. They are going to talk about this part of it. But
Benoit.
Yeah, it's very funny to hear that back and be like, the people that defected from WCW and that what killed WCW was Benoit, Eddie, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn.
Yeah, right. All right, guys.
It was right. Super Colo was busy that day.
Yeah, I love Super Colo.
Everybody loves Super Colo.
Yeah,
but yeah, I like that show. It's fun. It's stupid.
It's like a quick 40-minute watch, and you're in, you're out. Have fun.
I wonder if you didn't live through it. I wonder how people feel about it. Because not everybody knows the real stories. I watched it. We watched it happen. So I wonder if somebody who's a wrestling fan now that didn't live through WCW watches this and they're like, oh, this is what happened. It's like, well, kinda.
Yeah, kinda, sorta.
And it is the Eric Bischoff rehab tour.
Sure.
So, but segue, Eric Bischoff had Kevin Kelly on his podcast this week.
Oh,
did you see that? On the Wise Choices, is that what this fucking podcast is called?
Mm-hmm.
And that was where Kevin Kelly revealed that he is going to sue AEW
Cool.
as a whole, which is going to go fucking nowhere. Stephen P. New is going to get fucking paid, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll take the case.
Yeah, I think Kevin Kelly is just looking for a payout. He just wants an injection of cash to go away. I think he probably hopes that they'll just be like, just shut up and leave me alone. Here's a settlement.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
But AEW, he doesn't have an actual case, and AEW is gonna, if taken anywhere, AEW would smoke him. I mean, who's gonna help him back? Even if he had a case, which he doesn't, who's gonna help him back? Legally against a fucking billionaire. Like, come on.
Oh, I know that dude's such a fool. What an idiot.
So, but
I said last week or maybe a couple weeks ago, if you have a problem with Ian Riccaboni, I have a problem with you.
That's right. We saw Ian this week at LVAC, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But I said hello to him, so it's good to see him. I like Ian. Ian's a great guy, and
Ian's awesome.
Yeah, Kevin Kelly. The only thing I hope it does go to get in front of a court, so maybe we can all hear some of these calls that Kevin Kelly allegedly made.
Yeah, right.
That cost him his job because we all heard him be shitty on commentary. So
yeah, that really guy sucks. He sucks real bad.
Bischoff sucks. He's a bad faith actor. Kevin Kelly's going on all these bad faith podcasts because they're the only people that'll fucking listen to him. Yeah. And like many experts on, because this all stems from that fucking movie he was peddling. Many people in sort of the experts on, battling child trafficking and all that sort of stuff around the country have basically come out and been like, that fucking movie just like fantasizes everything. It's not a realistic depiction. And it sends the wrong idea on how these things are fought and solved. And that's why it's a garbage movie, but he's still peddling it as, if you don't like this movie, you support pedophilia, which is a bizarre thing to say out loud.
It's fucking weird, dude.
To anybody, but he fucking says it. So, but
yeah, it's weird.
I guess when you're in your industry, you have this job you've dedicated your life to, and it slips between your fingers because of no one's fault but your own. You can't accept that, so you have to fight out against somebody, I guess.
Yeah, what a strange guy.
Strange guy. That being said, no more Kevin Kelly talk. Let's get out of here. Let's talk about wrestling that we watched this week that we want to talk about before we. I imagine most of AEW will probably hit when we're chatting with Joe and Adam.
Sure.
On our way to Collision in Allentown, Pennsylvania, at the PPL Center.
PPL Center, baby.
So, what do you want to talk about? I'll throw to you, or do you want to talk G1 first? That's the main reason why we got on the call.
Let's run that down real quick.
All right, I think that's the most important thing this week. The G1 was announced. I think we talked last week that it was announced, but no wrestlers were named, right?
Correct.
It was like they said 2 brackets of so many people. I could probably count them. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 people on a side. 2 brackets only with the weird playoff system. We talked about all that. But this week they announced who's in it. Who's in the G1. G1 is probably the most exciting time of the year for Japanese wrestling, I think, at least for New Japan.
I would say so.
Wrestle Kingdom's pretty big, but like the G1 is such an extended event that everybody sort of talks about it. And at least here, we try and get people involved. You're a maniac who watches too much of it too early.
I watched every match last year.
Yeah, are you going to do that this year, you think?
We'll see. Honestly, probably.
Okay, because I'll say this. We did last week talk about it, and you named some people that we thought could be cut and all that, and they did, seemingly, maybe. Fingers crossed, kind of, sort of. It is sort of filled with a lot of bangers. Like it is New Japan with a somewhat depleted roster. We've talked about this. They don't have Okada. They don't have Ospreay. That's all big deals.
Absolutely it is.
For G1s, a G1 without Okada is an odd thing.
Yeah.
But let's talk who is in it. I have it in front of me. Do you have it? You want me to run it down?
I have it in front of me as well.
Okay, well, you could go do the A block and I'll do the B block. We'll do it that
All
way.
right. Sounds good. So the A block of the G1 Climax 34, baby.
Yes.
A block, we have the Shooter, the Roughneck, Shota Umino.
Who's hurt? Did you see that he fractured his hip in AEW?
Yeah, I guess against Rocky Romero on Rampage.
Yeah, which is why you shouldn't be having people wrestle Rocky Romero and or wrestle on Rampage. But anyway.
Very true.
He'll be okay.
The next participant, the ungovernable one, the winner of last year's G1, one Mr. Tetsuya Naito.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the Dragon, Shingo Takagi. We have Sonata.
Yep.
We have possibly the horniest wrestler ever, Great Okan.
Absolutely.
Mr. ZSJ himself, Zack Sabre Jr.
Zed, look at you.
Yeah, damn right. Techers, bruv.
Mm-hmm.
The man who doesn't know that wrestling's not real.
He 100% does not know that wrestling's not real.
I kind of love him.
Everybody, whenever you hear like the old guys talk about like growing up, like when did, especially the guys who were like second generation, Terry Funk and his dad, or Hennig and his dad, or whatever, all the interviewers are always like, well, when did you get smartened up to the business? And they're like, well, when I was 10 years old, my dad sat me down, or, whatever.
Yeah.
Gabe Kidd's going to be doing that interview, and he's going to be like, it's what?
Come again? We have the man who's now disbanding the good-looking guys in Pro Wrestling Noah, Jake Lee.
Oh, really?
Yes, which a lot of people are kind of wondering if he's wrapping up with Noah.
Yeah.
And going to New Japan. We'll see.
Okay.
And then there's Evil.
Sure
and then there's going to be the A block qualifier winner, which the qualifier participants in the A block are the Stoned Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii. The man with the dumbest face of all time, Yoshihashi.
That's right, straight out of Lawson's.
I will fucking kill you. A man with also kind of a dumb face, Callum Newman.
Yeah, at least a bad haircut.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. That washed up man himself, Kenta.
Super washed.
A man that was never good to begin with, Chase Owens.
Yep. Who I didn't think of last week for the question of like who's the wrestler that I fucking hate that I'll never watch. It's Chase Owens.
Well, it could also be followed up with this guy. No Yujiro 2024, Yujiro Takahashi.
That's right.
Ishii's got to win that block, right?
Brother, if he doesn't, the only guy I could see potentially winning this other than him is Yoshihashi, because they do like him.
Yeah.
And fans do like him. But like, we don't want a young boy. Kenta's washed. And like Chase and Yujiro should be nowhere near this fucking tournament when it's only 20 people.
Yep, they're pure ass trash.
Ishii's that fan favorite. I know you don't have him win much. He's gonna end up losing out anyway. Maybe not. Maybe he gets in this way and he does really well for the first time in like 4 years.
There's a lot of good matches he could have. So
right, I think
that's the goal.
He wins because he makes other people look better.
Absolutely. So
we'll see. But if it's not him, I'll be upset. And then if it's not him and it's not Yoshihashi, I'm gonna be like, you just wasted a fucking spot. Like this person, whoever, if it's not one of those two, the other four, if they win, should just get 0 points in this fight.
I was just saying, just job out the whole time. I agree.
100%.
All right, so hit me with the B block.
The B block. We're looking at, so that first block is kind of like the vets block a little bit. There's some young people in there, but like you have 4 former IWGP champions in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like that's like the experience block, then with like Shooter and stuff rolled in. The B block is a little bit younger, a little more rookie-ish with a couple vets sprinkled in. But we're looking at the godless El Phantasmo because taller Tonga is going to leave. Ugh. So he's on his own, I guess, again. He could be a sleeper. He could put on a great show. The man that the G1 was named for, Hiroki Goto.
Damn right.
Huge Suge, Yota Tsuji. The sole representative of LIJ in that second block.
Yep, he is.
So there you go. We got 2 representatives of it in Block A, so
yeah,
what happens there. Yuya Yamura, which is probably his first G1, right? Because he was just back from excursion not that long ago.
Is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Veteran Jeff Cobb, he's one of the more veteran presences in this block, really. Him and Goto.
He really is, yeah.
Which is crazy. Hanare, newly strapped up Hanare.
Yeah.
Which we could talk about, but that dude, funny enough, last week we were like, when are they going to pull the trigger with this guy? He's clearly earned it. So,
and then they did it.
What a maniac that guy is. Piece of crap, David Finlay, who they're going to love more than anybody else will.
Sure.
Sadly. House of Torture scumbag, but really growing into the character and look-wise is Red Narita. He just looks like a mess and a shitty person.
Yeah, he looks like a trash bag.
Yeah, he looks like he smells.
Yeah, I like it.
So great, then that's House of Torture fucking stinks, so it's fitting. And then sort of the big shock of the week was that Takeshita, representing AEW / DDT Pro, Kosuke Takeshita in the G1, should do really well. He's on paper in like the lesser block, I think, for like opponents wise.
He should win the damn block.
I mean, if I'm going to pick anybody in that block, honestly, it should be Takeshita. I imagine he makes it to one of the playoff rounds.
I would think so.
But I don't know who. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe Yota Tsuji wins this whole thing. I don't know, in Block B anyway. But then we do have the qualifier for Block B. There's some interesting ones on this one. President of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Tana, you don't need to do it anymore.
Right? He shouldn't win. We don't need to see him wrestle that schedule anymore.
Nope.
Enjoy your office job. Toru Yano, another guy we said could go.
I'm all set over here.
I do see the potential appeal because he can take losses and screw a couple people to kind of make the bracket more interesting. But I don't need him.
No, not at this point.
Bolton Oleg, C. Callum Newman.
Yeah.
Satoshi Kojima, a man who swore off being in G1s.
Yeah, so when I saw him in this qualifier, I go, wait a minute, didn't you say you're done doing the G1? Yes. So I'm like, all right, he's just not going to win.
But he has been on a resurgence the last 2 years, at least in America, winning MLW championships and stuff. So he could decide to go on a Mr. Grumpy run. I don't think so. But, again, fan favorite to fill this qualifier. After that, we have Taichi, who is probably the most deserving out of this bracket. I'd
put him in out of all these guys.
Because he's not my favorite wrestler, and he's not necessarily a top wrestler in New Japan, but he will guarantee 2 to 3. Oh, yeah, he was trained by Kawada matches every year.
Yep.
And that's enough. All the other ones he can lose.
Yeah.
And then he just decides, I don't know, to kick. Let's see, when he wrestles David Finlay, maybe he'll kick David Finlay in the teeth for real.
That'll make me happy.
And then lastly is the ass wang himself, TJP. I don't want the ass wang in the G1.
Fucking ass wang. No way.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen.
Nope, I don't think it will.
Be. Is he smaller?
His matches to me I skipped them. I never watch.
Yeah, he's completely skippable to me. I think other than Ren Narita, he'd be like the smallest guy in the whole G1.
Probably, yeah.
Which again, size is whatever. Some people don't like small wrestlers. I don't have a problem with them, but I would rather beefy guys in the G1. So let's get Taichi in there in that block. So Ishii and Taichi, I think, are the two best options for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. Like TJP, you just wrestled in the junior tournament. I don't need you in the G1. Right. I'm good over here.
Yeah, I already skipped everything you did in the tournament. Exactly. I don't need to skip everything you do in the G1.
Oh, that guy stinks.
So the ass wang. But that's the G1. I mean, I am excited about it. I think we were staring down the barrel of a depleted New Japan and thinking they were going to go with a 40-person or whatever it was, 32-person fucking G1.
Yeah, it was 34 4 blocks last year. I'm so happy they cut down.
And that's tough. So doing the 2 blocks, even with the screwy finals, playoffs, whatever, really does let you focus on having what I think are some really good matchups. I think there's across the board, like, even with the people I don't like, I'm still like, oh, there's still some matches I would watch for just about everybody here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
unless
and
TJP gets in. So
well, yeah, he stinks out loud. That's what, like a month away. G1.
Is that when it starts? Does it start July?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it starts at the end of July.
Okay.
So we'll figure out something for bracket madness.
We're laying money down. We talked about it. I just got to figure it out. Put pen to paper and get the logistics worked out. But
yeah,
doing something.
We'll get it figured out.
We will. But should be a good G1. Excited for it.
It should be. And one of the G1 participants this week had a match where I feel like people should go watch it.
Okay.
And that was Gabe Kidd.
Segues, brother.
I know.
What is going on?
That was clean as hell.
It's like the professionals. Except for the fact that I stopped the show to a halt to call it out.
That's all right. So Gabe Kidd challenged Kaito Kiyomiya at the Noah show over the weekend for the GHC national the heavyweight title, not the national title. Dude, this was a fucking war.
So it goes almost 28 minutes.
Yeah.
My only complaint, and it is minimal, is that I felt like they did a little too much outside the ring stuff.
I could see that.
And it wasn't bad stuff. I was just like, man, I'd rather see you in the ring. Like, Gabe Kidd's strikes in a ring look way more of a threat to me than throwing someone into chairs or whatever they were doing outside that ring.
He's a madman. He says it like he is. Yeah. He is an actual madman.
He's fascinating to watch. I think New Japan has something in him that's going to continue to grow.
Yep. And
be pretty fucking big. I wasn't always a fan just because I was going to say it took me a long time. I'm still not completely come around on this version of Bullet Club. But if he was the leader, then I'd probably buy all the way in.
I agree.
But this match, like you said, it's a war from almost the start. To me, this was a match where I was like, oh, Kaito Kiyomiya is all grown up now. Like,
for real, right? Like,
I was like, you did it, buddy.
Bleeds everywhere. Gabe Kidd bleeds everywhere.
I was like, you took a beating. You fought back. You still throw one of the worst Shiny Wizards I've ever seen.
Yeah, it looks real bad.
I fucking hate that thing. I like the Shiny Wizard, but I fucking hate his version of it. But, like, he stood in the ring with a madman. They bled everywhere. Gabe really bleeds everywhere.
Yeah, he does.
I don't even know what did it to him.
No idea.
Just all
that's what I love. He's covered in blood. Yep, exactly.
And they do the Tiger Suplex off the apron, which
your favorite spot.
Right on the very close to the anniversary of Misawa dying. You do one of the spots that contributed mostly to the weakening of his body.
Come on, it's a tribute.
It's a tribute. I loved it. The Avalanche Tiger Suplex, just really, really cool stuff.
I loved it.
I really liked it.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that I expected it to be as good as it was. And Kiyomiya is such a weird entity in wrestling right now because, like, he never got his win back over Okada. Noah has start and stopped or committed and uncommitted to him a handful of times over the last couple of years. Yeah. But he is very much, if that company has a future, he's it.
Oh, yeah, he's like, if you want to say an ace, he's an ace, for sure.
And then they bring in a guy who is mid-level at this point, New Japan. I mean, he's New Japan Strong Champion, but New Japan doesn't give a shit about that, really, in any capacity these days. Yeah. But, like, he's essentially a mid-card New Japan guy who's on the rise. And, like, they fucking kicked the shit out of each other. Like, they really did it. Like, I was nervous at points. Like, I was like, Noah's really going to let New Japan just fucking do this?
That would have been funny.
And, like, if Gabe Kidd wanted to, I don't know. I honestly don't know if there's anybody who'd be able to stop him. Uh,
Yeah, because he doesn't know wrestling's not
doesn't.
real, and I love it.
Absolutely doesn't. So,
Makes
but
me a happy boy.
This match was fucking great. A hell of a match. And then after the match, we get the next challenger for Kiyomiya, in who I know as Inamura, but I guess he's Yoichi now. Yoichi.
Yeah, he's going by a different name now.
Yeah, that's fine. He looks good,
Yeah.
He's got better gear than he did when he left. I guess he went on a small excursion, even though he was already pretty seasoned.
Yeah, I think he was either in Rev Pro or AAA. I don't remember which one.
But he's a beefy boy. I liked him a lot when he was around before. So I mean, he's not going to beat Kiyomiya, and that's fine.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You never can say that with Noah.
I was going to say unless Noah uncommits to Kiyomiya again, because which can happen. Defense. Yeah,
that could definitely happen very easily.
That is true. But I do like him, so that was exciting. Did you watch anything else from Noah?
No.
Not me either. That was pretty much it.
That was a one match show for me.
Yeah, and knowing we're going to be on the road tomorrow, we did take a little bit of a lighter week. Yes. But the other thing that I watched was some New Japan.
I watched a few.
I watched 2 matches from New Japan.
I watched 2 as well. What 2 did you watch?
Well, you told me to watch the War Dogs versus TMDK match.
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
That was all right.
Oh, you big boo. You got a dump in your pants. Come on.
No, I thought it was good. I didn't love it.
Man.
Yeah,
Kosai Fujita was fucking awesome in that match.
Which is great. Absolutely. He's my buddy. He wrote my name backwards, and I like him a lot. But I'm not completely sold. Like, I have almost no connection or interest in Connors and Maloney.
See, I don't know, man. I like them. I think they're playing the role really good. I love when Robbie, I think it was Robbie, or not, it was either Eagles or Fujita, obviously, when they tried to do like the flip over the top rope to them on the outside, and Connors caught them and placed them on Maloney's shoulders, and Maloney hit him with a pile driver. Yeah. It was so smooth and so sick. I was like, whoa, never saw that before. That was cool as hell. Yeah, there's definitely cool stuff in it. I was just like, because again, I'm not committed to this Bullet Club. Like Gabe Kidd's the only one that I think I like, which is funny because I liked Clark Connors before when he was just like weird Skinner, like not Skinner, alligator guy. When he was like a rhino or whatever.
Whatever he was.
I hated that.
The rhino. But my favorite part of that match is Fujita kicking out of everything. I was completely sold that Fujita was going to win this match.
Yeah, Fujita was awesome
on pure guts because he was getting hit with everything and kicking out.
That was like a star-making performance for him.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to break him out as a bigger star, and he's got the new music and the better look he's had for a couple weeks now, and I like him a ton. I just I don't know. The War Dogs don't do it. They haven't done it for me yet. And so it wasn't a bad match by any means. I'm not poo-pooing it in any way. I was just like, all right, it was good.
That's a shame.
Yeah. I'm glad you liked it.
I did.
The other thing I watched was Shingo Takagi versus Hanare.
I did not watch that.
Oh, really? Why did you watch it? No problem.
Hanare
almost died for you.
I feel like they're having the same match over and over again.
Yeah, it is weird that they just did this and Hanare didn't win.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm good. This match just happened last week.
Yeah, just like on that All Together show, which I can't find anywhere.
No, me neither.
They did Ishii Kitamiya again. And spoilers, Kitamiya wins.
Yeah, so I saw that.
But like, they just did that too. Give it a little bit, but whatever.
Yeah, like let's let it breathe.
You're gonna be shocked when I tell you this, but Shingo and Hanare kicked the piss out of each other. And like before the bell rings, they're not even out of their entrance gear. They just start fighting. And then the finish, the biggest problem with this match is Hanare's finish is a headbutt. That's what he wins with.
Oh, you don't do that.
But it so clearly hit Shingo in his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
nope, don't like
bummer. But it was a really good match, and I am glad that Hanari wins the never open weight. We said it last week. He's more than earned it. He probably should have won it last week because last week was a better match. So I don't know if they were like testing the waters to make sure the fans were going to be okay with it. But like this man's head almost split in half. Basically did split in half in a wrestling match. And he just wrapped it in a towel and kept fighting. So like he deserves his belt. You didn't have to test the waters with anything.
Nope. He's a crazy man.
He really is. But it was very good. Shingo's great. Shingo's in the Owen. We're getting Shingo Dragon at Forbidden Door.
Yep, that's true.
Which is taking us a long time to get. I guess 2 weeks or a week and a half or whatever to get to the first round Owen match. But I guess they want to stretch these out because we got a little bit to go. But
and I saw Shingo's. They're filming Rampage tonight.
Yeah,
and I think he's working AR Fox.
Oh, AR Fox is still there.
Look at that. He's out of the doghouse.
He will never be out of that doghouse, man. He like everybody that he was around in that fucking program before he fucked himself out of it is at the top of his fucking company now.
They sure are. Way to go, bud.
Right? He would have been right there alongside of him. Probably would have turned on Swerve and whatever, but like he would have been carried through that fucking program with everybody else.
Yep, he sure would have been.
But instead, I'm going to assume Shingo just fucking murderized.
I'd imagine.
But that's cool. It'd be nice if we got Shingo tomorrow in Allentown.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. But who knows?
Yeah, me either. Who knows though? Not too long of a trip. I don't imagine. Most people obviously it's just a day later because they're. Why are they recording Collision during the week? What's going on? Saturday?
Don't know.
Yeah, weird.
No, they're just airing it on Saturday. That's all.
Yeah, but
probably to give people a longer weekend off.
Maybe because they were where? Were they in DC?
Yeah, Fairfax.
All right, so
which I think is north of DC.
Yeah, so not too bad of a trip to from there to Allentown overnight or tomorrow morning to hit your call time. So
yeah.
What else did you watch from New Japan? You said you didn't watch that, but you watched.
Yeah, I did watch David Finlay versus Sonata.
Oh, you're a braver man than I.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
It still wasn't great.
Did you see people talking about this, or were you just like, I feel like watching David Finlay wrestle this week?
I was like, hey, that's Sonata. I haven't seen Sonata in a while. And he's like wearing like the orange Muda shade.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right. The problem was like I saw it went 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it though. It actually felt shorter. It had a good flow to it. So like I will say, hey, this was actually like I don't know, maybe I'm priming myself up because I know Finley's in the G1. And I'm like, all right, let's get into Finley, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually like pretty decent. And there was no way I was watching a half-hour cage match between Despy and Show. Wasn't happening.
I love that Despy won.
Yeah, but I hate watching that, brother.
No, thank you. Can't do it.
I'm all good on that. No thanks.
There's a lot of things that I'll be like, yeah, Despy's a must-watch person for, but that ain't it.
No, absolutely not.
No fucking way.
Can't convince me otherwise.
No way.
No, not happening.
So that's it for Japan. I didn't even play the jingle, but because who knows what's going on. Is there anything else, buddy, you want to talk about? Because like I said, AEW we can talk about in the car. I thought this was a good Dynamite, but I don't want to go too much into the detail.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Show's too long.
Yeah,
but
I really don't have anything else like not worthy about talking about with those dudes.
Okay.
So
did you buy anything?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, me either.
Nope, didn't buy a thing.
We do have a question from Ed.
Did you want to do that now, or did you want to save that for them tomorrow?
Oh, you want to do it in the car?
Yeah, we'll do it in the car.
All right, let's do it in the car. I like that. Let's make everybody get involved with Ed's fucking question.
Yeah, have everyone just answer young Ed.
Okay, that'll work.
That works for me.
All right. Well, that being said, I think we can get the hell out of here and throw to whatever to the car ride to Allentown. Yes. The
Collision Cowboys Ride Again.
That's right. So thanks for listening, and we'll. What am I doing? We got Terry Funk Moment of the Week.
Oh, there you go. Play Terry, and then
we're gonna play Terry, and then you'll hear us in the car. And
enjoy.
And we'll be back next week.
Standing here with the two prime movers.
Wait a minute. I want to talk to you a minute. You bet I want to talk to you. And it's about time that you listen to me, because these simple-minded people listen to me a lot more than what you do. You and Jim Ross and Bob Cottle all think these people out here and you people at home are ignorant, that you don't have any sense, that they can tell that you can dictate to them what they have seen through their own eyes. Let me tell you something. Jim Ross is an ignorant fool, because he made the statement that the battle was won in Baltimore by Ric Flair, and the war has just begun. Well, that is pure ignorance, Lance, because as you can ask my cohort over here, Gary Hart, I won the battle in Baltimore. And let's take that. Let's go on from there. Let's take Sting. We won the battle at center stage against Sting and Ric Flair, the town clown, and the other idiot that thinks he should be champion. That is nothing more than a has-been. And now you have got the J-Tex connection. Yeah. And we are going to show you people how to win.
Well, you hear...
I want to say one thing. Flair, Sting, any place, any time, against Muta and Funk. Can you take it?
Is that a signal for us to start the show?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, could have been verbal. That's all right.
You could have been the one to start the show.
I feel real awkward because I probably just cuss immediately, and I cuss too much. I'm sorry.
These are swearing shows. They have the explicit tag, right?
Are we allowed to curse on this?
Oh, come on now.
Wow.
How many fucking episodes has it been?
God damn it.
Right away.
I know it's 290. I said goddamn on Longbox this week.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Like very early on. I forget what it was.
I listened and I didn't pick that up.
Yeah, I picked it up like as soon as I said it. But we just kept barreling through. Goddamn is all right. They say that on like network TV and PBS.
You have a big youth audience.
I don't know. We might.
So Todd brings in the youth.
Sure. Hey, everyone. This is We Need At Odds with Wrestling, apparently.
Episode 297.
In a car.
Yeah.
I don't know. We are 266, I think.
The Collision Cowboys Ride Again.
Woo! We got Adam this time.
I'm a full-fledged collider now.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
Have you been to Collision before, Joe? I don't remember. I didn't think so, right?
No.
So this is
and the standalone Rampage.
Oh,
remember
my God, that's right.
Yeah, with the Shibata versus OC with Mike Tyson on commentary.
Yeah, so
and the unreleased Secret Six Man.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever happened with that?
I don't know. I think when we hit the 2-year anniversary of that in November, I might start tweeting at TK.
Oh.
Or if we bump into TK tonight, I'll be like, hey, when are you going to release that, pal?
How fascinating is it
going to release at the same time he releases the Rock documentary.
Oh, how dare you.
At one point, people used to pay just to see Rampage. How crazy is that?
It was a couple one-offs, but yeah.
So the funny thing is, we actually did go to 2 standalone Rampages because the night before Full Gear in Jersey was just a Rampage as well. That's when they made the Eddie versus Akiyama match.
Oh, right. That's how you know we're dedicated. We're willing to watch Rampages, just Rampages. I don't even watch that show on TV anymore.
Yeah, I skim.
I skim, too.
Yeah, I skim.
I'll watch this week. Shingo Takagi's on it.
Yep.
Adam, more about Shingo Takagi?
I don't want to show up, Joe. I want to be respectful, so I'll wait until just you, me, and DJ are in a room.
Okay.
I just don't want to info dump all over Joe's chest.
It's fair.
Oh my!
It's fair. It's very fair.
I was gonna say before we started recording,
Tough but fair.
Brett said, "Make sure you don't say anything that could get you canceled." And Adam is gonna dump knowledge on my chest.
Well, as long as it's consensual
Consensual,
knowledge
yeah.
dumping, you're good.
Yeah.
He just has to
You
ask
could put a
permission
glass
first.
coffee table in between.
Well, and then it's wrestling.
Yeah. Wrestling.
What the hell was it that they talked? Was it on Between the Sheets this week where that came up? I think because they were talking about like Rock and Roll Express came up, and they're talking about the infamous Rock and Roll Express with Jimmy Valiant. The woman shit on the glass coffee table. How like Ricky stayed, Robert left and Ricky stayed. And whenever people tweet it out, whoever runs
was normal before that.
whoever I think it's his kid who runs the Ricky Morton Twitter account.
Yeah.
Always likes whenever somebody tweets that story and tags Ricky in it.
Yeah.
Ricky, whoever runs the account, always likes the story. So apparently, like either the kid's in on it or whatever, right?
You deviant.
But you're talking about Shingo.
Yes.
And again, you say his full name, but I remember he was just Shingo.
Sure,
Ah,
you did
yes.
commentary on Dragon Gate USA with Shingo.
Okay, so everyone's like, oh my God, this is only the second time this match has ever happened, and the first time was at Dragon Gate USA, and so on and so forth. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, did I call that match? Was that during my time?
Yeah.
And then Lenny Leonard tweeted out that he and I called it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have no memory of that match.
What's that? What would that even be on, like, streaming service-wise at this point?
None.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
it was on Flow Slam.
Oh,
It was on DVD. None of the some of the Evolve shows made it over to the WWE Network.
Okay.
Like I think the first 10 or the first like 8 or 10 are on WWE Network, and then the last like whatever, like when it was like super WWE pilled.
I completely forgot that WWE like bought the Evolve shows or whatever.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, as you can tell, we're on our way to Collision right now. In beautiful Allentown, Pennsylvania. We're recording in a car, so if you hear air conditioning, don't mind because it's fucking hot out and we're all big men and we sweat and we need air conditioning.
Adam's the world's
he's
smallest hoss.
Yes, there you go. My apologies.
I'm a medium man.
Yes.
Is it true this is the first time in 40 years they've had wrestling here? Did I see that? Or am
No,
I making something up?
Ian Riccaboni was saying it's the first time in 40 years that there's been nationally televised
Okay.
wrestling
All right.
in Allentown. And that was back when WWE used to do their tapings and stuff here. They would alternate. There's like, so he said, if Ian's saying 40 years, this was like right pre or right as Hulkamania was a thing.
Okay.
That they would do like the Hamburg Fieldhouse in Allentown.
Was a thing or was Running Wild?
Was not Running Wild yet.
It was still contained.
So, obviously the early days of that, like Hogan wins the belt in January of 84, and then he's hardly on the house shows. Like if you go and look at like the MSG shows in 84, outside of the one where he wins the belt, he's maybe on 3 MSG shows in 1984 total.
Yeah.
It's because he still had Japan commitments.
Oh, right.
And then leading 84 into 85, they were using Hogan to run like the cities where they were like, oh, here's where we're going opposition against Vern, or here's where we're going opposition against Crockett, or whatever.
Okay.
So we're going to put like Hogan versus Big John Studd, or Hogan versus Paul Orndorff, or whoever the territorial star was in that area on top in those shows to try to start like dwindling that audience. We don't need to have Hogan in New York. We already have New York. So we need to send Bad Terry out to these other places.
I know it was a couple weeks ago, but did you guys see the clip of Bad Terry giving the axe bomber to a Japanese wrestler?
It was somebody in Noah.
Yeah, so
he gifted it to, but he said New Japan.
DDT,
and he says New Japan.
but he says it's for New Japan. He
Yeah.
has no idea where he is or what's going on.
In the last week, we've had that thing.
Yeah.
I saw a video today of Bad Terry at a Hooters fighting with a guy over the Hooters title belt, and then didn't in the last week.
Okay.
Bad Terry also announced that he's running for president.
Yes.
Oh, did he really?
He was on Fox News saying that he's going to clean up this country.
Okay.
And rule with an iron fist.
Oh my goodness.
In that Hooters video as well, he like smacks the dude on the ass and sends him flying off a table through another table.
Yeah.
Fucking weird shit going on.
There's no
man.
way he doesn't say Hulk Hogan 2024, let's leg drop America, right?
It needs to happen. I mean, no, it doesn't need to happen. You know what I mean.
It's going to be
the New World Organization, brother.
Let's leg drop. Yeah, it's going to be let's leg drop America, brother.
Yeah, brother, right, dude.
Say your prayers, take your vitamins, vote for the Hulkster.
Well, at least Ed Leslie will get a job.
No!
Secretary of State.
They're not friends anymore.
Yeah, that's true, they're not.
Brian Snuggs will get a job.
That's right. Yeah.
His entire cabinet is made up of Hogan cronies.
Oh my God! And again, see, that's the thing. At least we know. You know, like we'll be smartened up to it because like we know who all the Hogan cronies are. It's like when Jimmy Hart gets announced official national weed carrier.
Speaker of the House, Jimmy Hart.
Yeah. Come on, baby. Goes over there with the megaphone.
He writes the new national anthem.
Oh my God! And it's just girls in cars.
We hate school. Eric Bischoff gets a cabinet position and goes, I didn't even know the president had a cabinet until I got the job.
I've never heard of the United States before this.
Right. I had no idea it existed.
See, we could get all on track with everything. Did anyone watch Death of Who Killed WCW Part 3 this week?
Yes.
Certainly.
Man, this show has beaten me down so much that like I don't even care about the lies.
Yeah, I love it. The lies don't bother me. It's like watching the Lord of the Rings at this point.
See, it's less the lies because I get like you've gotten like the biggest liars in all of professional wrestling and David Arquette this week,
Right.
and I can forgive their lies, but like when they just when the show itself misrepresents facts, like when they talked about the David Arquette title victory, the narrative on the show was David Arquette won the title on Thunder. Vince Russo says that it was on the front page of the USA Today the next day, which it was not. Okay. It was a blurb at the bottom of the entertainment section of the USA Today the next day.
The front page of the entertainment section.
Okay. And again, true enough to be true, I guess.
Sure.
When you're Vince Russo and the narrative on the show was that he just turned the title back over the next TV.
Because he talked to Booker T.
Because he talked to Booker T and felt bad.
Yeah.
Which he did not. Because if you remember, the next TV for Thunder, or for Nitro, was David Arquette versus Tank Abbott.
Right.
Then there was another.
Forget it, 5 stars for Meltzer.
Then there was another segment on Thunder. Then there was the pay-per-view, which was the Triple Terror Cage Ready to Rumble, and it was Double J versus DDP versus David Arquette.
Yes.
Earlier in the night where they did the canyon fall off the top of the cage in the same fucking building where Owen Hart died. Less than a year after Owen Hart died. And that's when
Bischoff wasn't watching the competition.
And that's when David Arquette turned heel and handed the title over to Jarrett. So it was like 2 weeks later, and it was like multiple matches.
Right.
But the narrative on the show is he won that title, they realized it was a mistake, and he turned the title back over the next day.
Right.
The one from last week that pissed me off was when they hyped up the finger poke of doom, where they show the promo of Nash coming out of the Nitro to set up the match with him and Goldberg, and then just all of a sudden the show itself just pivots. Well, now it's Hogan versus Nash. They don't explain how we got from Nash cutting a promo on Goldberg. They just leave out Goldberg being arrested for aggressive stalking of Miss Elizabeth. And like all the other stuff that like came into there. So it's just like when they're just changing facts to fit the narrative of the show, like I'll give Eric Bischoff and Kevin Nash and all these other liars whatever, but like when the show itself is too dishonest to even present like actual facts, it's infuriating.
What were your thoughts on Vince Russo saying that he had more talent than 80% of that roster?
I want to get so bad. If we were not in the car, I was going to get, from that time period that he's talking about, I was going to get the full WCW roster list. I was going to cut it. 80% would have been X amount of people. And I'd be like, okay, you need to find the 7 people or whatever the fuck it was that Vince Russo was not as entertaining as. And I feel as though it's going to be a lot less than 80%. And like they do the thing, and like I get it, Russo was a TV character and he was over because people wanted to, see him get his ass kicked and everything else like that. But like he never really got his ass kicked. He never got that comeuppance. Like, he got to be the one to take Ric Flair's hair. Yep. He got to be the one to win the world title from Booker T in a cage match after Goldberg speared him, and then he quit the next day because he had a concussion.
Yep.
Or I think of the promo that he cut on TV that he had a brain aneurysm.
Jesus Christ.
Because we didn't know what concussions were in 2000. But the fact that they did non-wrestlers winning the world title on flukes less than 5 months apart in WCW. And the Arquette one is the one that gets all the whatever. And, like, of course, they love to say, Tony Schiavone's the one that came up with it. But you were the motherfuckers in charge.
Yep.
You were the ones that said, let's do it.
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone could have came up with a million ideas, and you could have told him to go fuck himself. How many bad ideas did Disco Inferno notoriously come up with? And they told him to go fuck himself. But again, I understand Tony Schiavone, even today, holds a lot more weight in the business and his opinion than Disco Inferno's ever will in any facet of his life. I think the people that he works for at the strip club as a bouncer even tell him to go fuck himself when he comes up and says, we should send this girl away to learn a new hold.
Listen, Russo, he was just booking a television program.
That's right, bro. This isn't wrestling. It's a television show, bro.
And one more thing I forgot to mention. How they decided. Okay, so episode 2, we get the whole thing of like, oh, Eric Bischoff was just a sweet guy. And, you know, he wanted the best for everyone. And, you know, he didn't flush millions of dollars down the drain in 1999 booking Master P and the No Limit Soldiers, Kiss, and all these other people to multi-million-dollar contracts and helping make the show look less profitable to the Turner executives. Yeah. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff, but I like the new narrative that we threw in here. Vince Russo, not a racist. They have the thing where Booker T is like, oh, you know, I didn't win the title because WCW was racist. And then they cut to the thing of Vince Russo just sitting there. No dialogue, just Vince Russo sitting there, and then it's Booker T saying like, oh, you know, he gave me a chance and everything else like that. They neglect the piñata on the pole matches, the bottle of tequila on the pole matches, and not a TV character Vince Russo, but Vince Russo on WCW Live or whatever their internet show was, saying, if you want lucha libres, go to Japan.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I like it.
Adam, that sounds like something you might say.
What?
It's an astronomical wrong statement. That's why I love it.
It's so wrong it has to be intentional. You know?
It's so wrong. There's not even a chance of it being fun.
Again, I always say about Vince Russo, stupid or liar.
Yeah. Well,
it's one or the other. It can't be both.
It's a stupid liar. Probably.
Again, he probably is a stupid liar, but I'm at least giving him the benefit to call him just one or the other.
True.
So next week is the last episode of it. Obviously, they're going to cover, you know, Shane coming in and grasping.
Wait, Shane who?
AEW?
Shane McMahon.
Oh, Shane McMahon coming into a fledgling
That's right.
company as a last-ditch effort to try to turn things around. That sounds familiar.
What do we think about the talk of Shane-O and AEW?
Well, I tweeted it out today. Perfect fit for him as part of the Don Callis family. If he's about fifth guy down in the pecking order, he's above Kyle Fletcher, but still below Trent. Right in there is where Shane McMahon should fit.
He beats Wheeler Yuta for the Ring of Honor pure title.
Perfect.
He is a pure striker. We have seen that.
Best, right, and he turns into the best pure striking title. No, I think this is a bunch of bullshit. It's never going to happen. This is Conrad Thompson trying to get some sort of whatever.
I hope for Ed's sake it happens. I think that's something Ed would really enjoy.
Imagine the next time. So imagine this happens, okay?
Right.
And the next time they come to Cleveland, and it's on the marquee outside the building.
Yeah. Here comes the money.
Shane McMahon against the Rainmaker.
Oh my
Okada.
God!
I can never pronounce his first name the right way, but Okada versus Shane McMahon, and that's the match that they give to Cleveland. And Ed's there with his fucking Okada shirt and his dollar bills, and then fucking Shane O'Mac comes out and says, "Here comes the money," and he's the new Rainmaker and all this other stuff, and Ed's there for it, and we just hear his heart breaking through the live feed, you know?
Yeah.
Until Shane tears something and Okada looks down at him and is like, "You all right, cuz?"
So that's the other thing I was thinking of. If you hire Shane McMahon, you have to have Snoop Dogg on retainer, just in case. When Shane McMahon inevitably falls apart mid-ring, mid-match, whatever, send Snoop Dogg out there.
100%. Legit, still my all-time favorite WrestleMania moment. So.
Oh, it's so perfect.
I don't know. It's Andre getting slammed by Hulkamaniac.
No, he died 3 days later.
That's true. And Terry did tear all the muscles in his back.
Yeah.
And he was partying with Jim Belushi at Studio 54 that night. None of the logistics of that lineup. But I don't know. I think that's just Conrad trying to get some clicks.
I can see that for sure. What do you guys want to talk about?
I don't know who told you this was going to be open mic night, bitch.
Oh, God.
But it's been a busy week, actually. There's been a lot of stuff specific. I think the big story, though, in the last, 6 days, 6 specifically, would be the debut of the Wyatt Sick. Or Six, or whatever the new Uncle Hoodoo group is called.
The 6 members just not available.
Right. Well, the 6th member is in our hearts.
Yes, forever.
Everything I read about it is that it's cinema. I just keep seeing that tweeted out everywhere.
You didn't watch it as it happened?
I watched it after the fact.
I made sure.
I watched it as it happened.
So did I.
It was one of those things where, I knew it was going to close out the show. Yep. I'm like, all right, everybody's in bed. I don't got anything. I could put the Dabbleverse on hold for 20 minutes. And I tuned in to see.
How generous of you.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm Dabble-pilled. I see Yeetamania run wild. Is that what his name is now?
Yeet in the bank.
Yeet in the bank.
Shout out Marcus.
And then they do the whole Uncle
the next
Howdy
logical
gimmick.
step.
A bunch of murders being done.
Well, okay, so
Confirmed murder.
Yeah.
So the only confirmed murder that we know of that has been given a name is Chad Gable.
Right, because he hasn't been contributing to the shows. He's expendable.
We could write him off of television for a couple months.
And I get it, so there was the pay-per-view this past weekend too.
Yes.
And everybody was going nuts. It's oh my God, I can't believe Cody and AJ Styles both got color. It's I can't believe Cody and AJ hid behind a table and smeared raspberry jam on their heads. Get the fuck out of here. Cody ain't running no goddamn razor no more.
He said on Twitter today that he's happy to see blood back in wrestling.
Uh-huh.
Blood, air quotes.
I got very excited when I saw it. I went, oh my God, he ran the razor. And then it trickled away in about 3 seconds. And I went, oh man.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And listen, we've seen Cody cut himself before.
Oh, yeah.
And that son of a bitch is going for it.
Yeah, he likes to bleed.
He ain't the dribbler, But okay, so the pay-per-view was fine, whatever. It's 5 matches. We could talk about Phil. We could circle back around to Phil and Drew McIntyre and Drew McIntyre quitting for real. But so Adam, you saw it after the fact. You guys saw the rest of the Wyatt stuff. What was your guys' opinion of how it was presented and whatever?
I'll just say if you like the Wyatt stuff, which I used to, we talk about all the time, that it just got so overplayed that you become numb to it at the end. But I didn't hate it. I'll just say that. But the fact that the internet reaction, specifically from WWE pilled people, is that it was fuck you, Scorsese. This is cinema. Just that being so far overboard makes me dislike it.
Suck my dick, Spielberg.
Yeah.
What do you got on Triple H?
I'll just say, and I think this is pretty much chalk here, but the happiest thing about that entire segment is that Alexa Bliss was nowhere to be found.
She could be the 6th one, though.
No, there is no 6th. Bray's the 6th.
Bray in our hearts.
Exactly.
Is the 6th.
There's going to only be 5 of them because Bray was the 6th. You're not recasting Bray Wyatt.
When it happened, I was like, okay. I thought the production of it was very good. I liked when they went backstage. I was like, oh, this is cool. Looks like a WWE haunted house.
Tom Savini getting that paycheck for making all the
masks all look cool.
So it's not Savini. Did you watch
studio, right?
Did you watch the Bray Wyatt gimmick that's on the network?
Is it his friend that did all of it?
It's one of
Jason Baker.
Yes.
Okay.
It's one of the Savini acolytes. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it looked cool, but then it's just that realization of, oh, that's Bo Dallas.
Right. That's my take. My take is that no matter how cool it is, you're going to expect me to believe, if you will.
You gotta believe
that Bo Dallas is going to be able to carry this in any capacity. Because I can tell you he's not going to be able to.
So, I will say, Bo Dallas has not wrestled a match on TV in well over 3 years.
So I looked this up, Joe. 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So how do you know he just hasn't been getting really awesome in the ring in those last 5 years?
That's true.
Well, I can't disprove that.
Right. So he can't disprove that.
I knew a drummer once who used to get better after not doing it. But yeah, I just have a hard time. I like Dexter Lumis. Good for Eric Rowan to get a job again and whatever. But like Bray, I feel had a hard time carrying where this gimmick was going at the end, and I don't think Bo's going to be able to carry it and pull it off.
Yeah, because Bray Wyatt was significantly better wrestler than Bo was, and Bray wasn't great. And Bray Wyatt was 150,000 times more creative than Bo Dallas was. So it's like once the dream journal that was left behind by Bray is used up, Bo's not going to have anything left.
Yeah, I remember back when the Firefly Funhouse stuff was happening and Joe and Adam, you guys, were covering it every week.
It.
Yeah,
and
it was cool.
It was awesome, but I just remember the key complaint was, and then the bell rings.
It's the Brucey thing. Even though Brucey was the big proponent of it, he claims that he produced a bunch of the segments and everything else like that. And like, even we got to like, so those, if you remember, those vignettes started the night after WrestleMania.
Yes.
Bray does not work a match as the Fiend until SummerSlam.
Yeah, against Balor,
and it's the match against Balor. And then they did the thing where they fucked up with the advertising. And then they had to do that thing with the Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
And they had to do the fuck finish there. And again, I know the whole history of the Fiend, right? And so this is the Fiend lore. This is the Fiend lore that I know, right? Where they fucked everything up, and I think it was that's where they fucked him up, and you make him a special character. And I've said online that this whole act, you debut it on TV, and obviously, I'll say at the end of it, I liked the way everything looked, but I hated the way that everything was presented.
Okay.
In the kayfabe sense of professional wrestling.
Sure.
But this is something, and other people have chimed in on this, that this should be a live event only thing.
Yes.
That, first of all, it gives them a chance to work out whatever kinks they might have in front of a live crowd, how these characters are supposed to work without having to worry about hitting time cues for TV, commercial breaks, things like that. You could just send them out there and they could do their shtick, and you could sell it as live events of like the only place that you're going to see the Wyatt Six is at live events, not at TVs, not at anything else like that. And somebody else even said you do a touring funhouse where one of the trailers you set it up in the parking lot. Maybe you have it as an extra fee or you have it as something else where you get to tour through Uncle Hoodoo's whatever.
Oh, okay.
And you do it as kind of like an unofficial meet and greet with all these characters where you get that special experience, again, only at live events. That being said, in the kayfabe sense of professional wrestling, there has been lots of negotiations of like Adam Pearce and what the fuck's the guy in SmackDown's
Nick
name?
Aldis.
Nick Aldis. Negotiating like, oh, we want to make sure that we get Jade Cargill, and we want to make sure that we get this, and we want to make sure we get this person, right? Braun Breaker, we want him on our show. So Wyatt Six stuff has been showing up on both shows, interrupting both shows. So they show up on Raw. Now, are they going to show up on SmackDown this week? Because, like, did Adam Pearce sign him to an exclusive contract? And how did the negotiations go with a bunch of spooky ghosts or killers or so on and so forth?
And they're okay with murder.
Okay, so then knowing what the evil Uncle Howdy and so forth has done in the past, and even if we were to believe whatever, that he's like a spooky ghost or whatever it is, did you forget to put in his contract no murders? Okay, so maybe you forgot to put no murders.
It's an easy thing to overlook.
Now, they caused lots of property damage. They interrupted the show. They broke up the whole gorilla position thing backstage. Where do you send the bill for the fines? Do you suspend the spooky ghosts? How do you enforce spooky ghosts with their suspensions and with their fines? Do they pay you an Uncle Howdy bucks? These are a lot of questions that I have. And then again, of course, there was a bunch of extras, and the only one that we saw clearly was Chad Gable. And the way that they smeared the raspberry jam on Chad Gable's head, it looks like he had a gunshot wound in the side of his head.
Like he looks like the ghost from Pet Sematary.
So
he's dead.
Yeah.
By having this reveal happen in the way that it did, you have now forced yourself to have to address a lot of stuff that is unnecessary and will take specialness away from the group before they even have their first match. You could have done a thing, and then you even have people on social media who are smart about it, like Bronson Reed or Xavier Woods or whatever it is like that, where Xavier Woods is like, well, I guess my opponents are dead, so I just move on, right? or Bronson Reed says that.
Yeah.
Xavier Woods says, yeah, you know, we had a vibe in the building. We left early before any of that happened. Luckily we did, or we'd be dead now, right? So, like, now you're putting your own people in situations where they have to explain this away. Are they clearing this with creative or Vince, Triple H, excuse me, to, like, verify, like, is it okay if I say this about Uncle Howdy or that about Uncle Howdy? And, like, WWE has kind of gone away from the spooky. And listen, I love the spooky. Give me a Papa Shango.
Absolutely.
Give me a Kamala character. Give me Undertaker doing lightning and shit like that. But once you now bring an entire stable of those people in and they murder your staff and destroy your backstage area and then the crowd cheers it, I don't know, man.
What'd you feel about, I'm sure you saw the clip today of the end of Punter Pat's show.
Oh, that's right. Then that's why maybe they are good, because they killed Pat McAfee.
They killed McAfee?
Apparently they killed. So the end of his show is happening.
AJ Hawk okay?
Oh, Jesus. They're doing an interview with whoever, and he's like,
Aaron Rodgers?
Well, no. Oh, God.
No. I hope we get Aaron Rodgers in the Wyatt thing.
Yeah. So, like, they're doing a shot of it where they're showing the whole set, and they show everybody on the set look over, like, towards where the camera's pointing at, and just going, what the fuck is that? And they go, don't you guys have better security around here? And then the light, it just, like, goes to black, and you hear, like, that Wyatt, like, brrr, like, power down, whatever noise, and the show just ends.
Oh.
So, a lot of people are like, so what are we doing? You know? And then
spooky business.
And then a lot of people are, I mean, non-wrestling people obviously are like, what the fuck just happened?
Oh, yeah, there was people people were tweeting it out. I don't know if it was on Facebook or whatever it was. And they're like, oh, this was ESPN pulling the plug because they were afraid that they were going to break some, like, legitimate non-wrestling conspiracy news. And then people are like, you understand this is fucking fake, right? Like, this is a show and, like, it's professional wrestling and it's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't... Like, it is one of those, I don't want to poo-poo on it immediately, but I just don't have, like, a ton of faith in it, I guess.
Neither do I. Now, I will say, with them doing the spooky thing on the Pat McAfee show today, if this is WWE deciding we're going to pivot and just go full spooky wrestling, okay.
All right.
And they become the new Blackcraft Pro.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know, where, like, people are actually legitimately being murdered and written off TV in that way. And, you know, everybody always likes to draw the illusion. Every time WWE does something that's, like, even remotely adjacent to something that Chikara did or whatever, I saw a couple folks being like, oh, you know, characters being killed off on screen to write them off and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, in Chikara, we were told on commentary not to explicitly say that they were being killed. Let the audience draw that conclusion themselves, but nobody had, like, a gunshot wound of raspberry jam on the side of their head on a Chikara show. They just took a shitty fucking choke breaker thing and moved.
So,
couldn't get booked, and nobody wanted to pay for their plane tickets. Allegedly.
So, speaking of Chikara adjacent things, LVAC this past Friday.
Oh, yeah. I forget that we talked about it afterwards.
Yeah.
It feels forever ago.
Yes.
What a hot show that was.
Oh, baby. It's funny.
Literally, figuratively. I'll tell you what, man. It felt good to be back at Sokol's.
The last time, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Should we wait until Smart Mark releases the physical DVD cut of this?
Nah, you gotta fill me in on stuff.
Okay, that's true.
Because I didn't go.
Yeah. Adam, you broke your streak of one.
I broke my streak a while ago because I didn't go to the Christmas show either.
Well, we were all sick, I think.
Yeah, I think I probably got COVID from the last LVAC show.
Oh, come on. There's one confirmed COVID happened from LVAC.
That's right. It's right here.
Right there. Listen,
oh, yeah, you got it at LVAC.
I've gotten it at LVAC. So did my buddy Rob. We all got COVID.
That's when wrestling gave Michelle COVID.
Yeah, Michelle's still mad about it.
She's hot, brother. So, the end angle. So, it's Big Dan Cheeseburger against the Patiri main event. Big Dan and Cheeseburger. What were they going? Big Cheese?
Big Cheese.
Big Cheese.
Big Cheese.
Yes, they get the win. You know, Patiri's going to the back. They call the Patiri back
looking
into
like
the ring.
$1 million.
Yeah, Patiri, amazing.
Again, I don't know what they're putting in the chicken and rice on Bled Island, but it's a lot different than the chicken and rice that everybody else eats.
Yeah. So,
I almost said their real names. Shit. Abarian on Kodama.
Yeah. They do the handshake deal, the sign of respect, raise each other's hands. Batiri beat the absolute shit out of Big Dan and Cheeseburger. Then Spectral Envoy, who made their return, they go into the ring to confront them, and a trash can gets thrown into the ring at this point. And Mantis is holding up the trash can.
Oh, no. Was this before or after they threatened to light the... No, because the owner of the building came in.
That's right.
Whose name I forget.
Yeah.
But they do the bit where because they pretend that they take out a gas can and they're going to light the ring on fire.
That's right, yeah.
Burn Sokol down.
They're going to burn Sokol down.
Yeah, but Batiri's pouring gasoline all over Big Dan.
The owner of the building comes out and they pull him into the ring and bump him.
That's right.
And then that's what brings Mantis out.
Yeah, so Spectral Envoy's out. Mantis holds up the trash can. He turns and he crushes the owner of Sokol's with the trash can. Spectral Envoy starts beating down Big Dan and Cheeseburger.
Dan gets the trash can too, I believe.
Yeah, so Dan gets the trash can later. It was fucking wild. They're just pouring more gasoline on Big Dan to burn them down. Locker room clears, chases off Spectral Envoy and Batiri. Mantis is yelling, "No more punk rock, no more beer, no more Sokols." So yeah, Spectral Envoy and Batiri being in a stable makes me a very happy boy. I thought it was fucking awesome. It was such a great ending to the show. Whole show's great, of course. But man, that was a hot angle, I thought.
It was a great angle at the end, absolutely. For a company that doesn't do wrestling stories.
Yes.
It was one of those things that I guess it was in the creative, I guess, maybe like days before, if not a day before, right? So October 5th is Steel Stacks. The date that I was originally told was incorrect. So July 21st is at Mahoning, Real Rumble. That's a Sunday. They're going to try to work out another show in between just so they don't lose the momentum between whatever. Now, I'll say this here on the show.
Ooh,
but the rest of this stuff, you got to sign up for the $200 tier of the Patreon.
I knew that was coming on this car, right?
To find out. But it's all building towards Steel Stacks doing a Cybernetico match.
Yeah, baby.
Of, Mantis, Hollowicked, Frightmare, Batiri, and 3 other folks against, like, the babyface LVAC folks. Obviously, Big Dan, you would assume. Obviously, Cheeseburger, you would assume. I assume La Chica will be in there. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 other names from the past. Maybe you've never done LVAC shows before. $200 Patreon level. Sign up. I'll tell you who they are. This one's worth it.
$175, I'll tell you.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Do the Todd undersell. Right. All right, I like it.
I learned from the best. Copy and ain't get it, motherfuckers.
Yeah, though, great time, man. It was so much fun.
Now, I want to say this. Hang on, I had the microphone away from me because I'm being bombarded with texts by someone who was supposed to be coming with us on this show, on this trip, who I was supposed to get a ticket for, And I'd asked them before I asked, I go, "Hey, do you want me to get you a ticket?" And they said no.
Right.
So I go, "Okay, no problem." And then I ran into their wife at the LVAC show. This person's wife, who is like the biggest AEW fan in the world. And when I told her that we're going to the show, well, first of all, she's not terminally online like the rest of us, so she didn't even know they were coming to Allentown because they don't advertise it on TV.
They certainly don't.
That's number 1. Number 2, they live in the area, thereabouts, and she didn't know that they were coming. And I said, you could just ask your husband. I go, I offered to get him a ticket, and he said no. I go, if I knew, I would have got you one as well. So now he's currently texting me. "Oh, you guys going to the show?"
Oh.
Yes. I goes, "Oh, the missus wants to go." He goes, "I might just try to buy her a ticket and wait outside." I go, of all the people in the world who could get comped into literally anything, it's this person. Yeah.
I believe you said if he wanted a whole section, he could probably have it.
So that's what I'm currently texting him to do if I'm distracted here. Yes. He is insinuating that they've secretly announced Satnam Singh versus Big Dan on the squash list tonight. But we'll see. We'll see about that.
Yes.
Dan told me he's going, but just like Dan is not looking for comps. Dan is looking for backstage passes so he could just go and hang out backstage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hit that catering.
Yeah.
Adam, did you have any moments of this week that you wanted to talk about?
Oh man, see, I thought we were off for this week, so I didn't even watch NXT.
Oh, okay.
But
I watched the end of NXT, and I don't like what they're doing. But go ahead.
You don't believe in Joe Hendry? Clap, clap.
I like Joe Hendry just fine.
I like Joe Hendry as well, but I don't know.
Are we supposed to pretend that he's like a superstar?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I know his song like charted on like the UK charts, right? Like one of the more recent songs that he did, you know. But like when somebody else, I forget like what the analogy was, but didn't for the TNA pay-per-view this past weekend. There was a TNA pay-per-view this past weekend,
there was,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, because Jeff Hardy came back to TNA, and then AEW or WWE sent Tatum Paxley?
Yes.
Right? It's like, oh, we're going to send you literally every star that we have, and we're going to send you someone who's like 9th off the bench in the women's roster at NXT as your surprise TNA. That's what we think of you. Fuck you. But listen, they send Joe Hendry and Frankie Kazarian.
That's WWE Velocity Superstar.
That's right.
Frankie Kazarian.
The Elite Hunter.
Yes, that's his real name.
He was just there to talk sticks with HBK, maybe, right? I have a feeling that HBK is a cigar guy.
For
Call it a
sure.
hunch.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like
For a man who worked in the cigar industry, he absolutely is.
I know. I hope Joe Hendry goes to NXT full time. I hope WWE just like completely fucks TNA and steals him.
Yep.
To really show like what they're actually about. Like they don't care about helping TNA in the slightest.
Just raid anybody who's worth raiding.
Yeah. Honest to God.
Yeah,
Pick
there's
their
no way
bones.
they don't sign Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely going to leave.
She was teasing on social media the other day that like not coming right out and saying it, but it definitely like she was like, oh, I've done everything I can in TNA, and you know I've won every title and faced everyone, and like I need to find new ventures and blah blah blah. But like she's one of those like weird social media fucks anyway.
She is strange.
She also posted a picture of her and a bunch of other TNA ladies naked sitting at the edge of a pool.
I saw that.
Costa
What now?
Rica.
Say that.
From behind, Adam.
Oh, well, hey, you know what?
But they're all
Adam's ears just shot
naked,
up.
sitting on one of those like edgeless like infinity pools overlooking the ocean. And it's her. And I couldn't tell you.
Killer Kelly might have been one of them.
I know Giselle Shaw was one of them, and then I don't know who else was there. And then I think everyone else was there also did individual pictures of just themselves sitting at the edge of the pool. So.
Was this like, did they maybe do like a joint OnlyFans shoot or something?
Like a TNA hedonism?
Oh, jeez. Wow, that's a throwback.
I don't know.
Yeah, do a journalism.
I'm doing it now.
Not while we're in the car.
Yeah.
Go to the Wayback for that.
So I saw the end of the show was Ethan Page versus some guy, I can't remember his name. Javon, maybe? Javon something.
Javon Curse.
Yes, the freak. And Trick Williams like makes a save and he's brawling with
Can
Page.
you recognize all four of them?
No,
Just from that picture?
Joe showed me the photo.
Did you see you guys saw it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's Brett's wallpaper.
Yeah,
on his phone.
absolutely. Are you kidding me? So, who made the save for Ego? Sean Spears.
Well, because they're all in a better place now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're in a better place.
Are they going to do a former AEW Bums stable in NXT?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And they're going to be called some takeoff of the fucking Four Horsemen because Pillman Jr. is going to be there.
The Boar Horseman. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that and went, well, I'm still not interested in this. This stinks.
You're going to have Ricky Starks in there. It'll be Ricky Starks, Sean Spears, Ethan Page, and Lexus King.
Lexus King. That was an insult to Paul Roma to say that he's the Paul Roma.
I fucking knew you were going to say Paul Roma. Yeah. Yeah. Real stinky doo-doo.
Did Obafemi kill anyone on NXT this week? Like, not like Uncle Howdy kill people,
So
but like do cool shit?
I saw the clip. I think it's going to be him versus Wes Lee
Okay.
at their next show.
They were in the multi-man at the pay-per-view, the NXT thing.
I think it's like one of those Wesley, I got one more shot, brother
All right.
type deals.
Good luck.
So if they have Wesley beat Obafemi, I'm going to be pissed.
Nah, if they were smart, you build Obafemi up like they built Braun Breaker up, and then maybe you even do a bit where, like, you bring Obafemi up to the main roster if he's ready to go, and then you have like these two undefeated guys or like unstoppable guys or whatever it is, and even if you just do it as a freak show match where like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, you just pound the shit out of each other and the match gets thrown out as a double DQ.
I'm down for that.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Dynamite last night?
I thought Dynamite was real good last night.
I did too.
Dynamite was very
but I
good.
do have a controversial opinion on one of the segments.
Oh, all right. Let's hear it. What do you got?
You better not insult the contract signing.
No. Okay, so
That was the peak of wrestling.
right. That was and again, I was gonna make a joke. It's like everyone's like, "Oh, that's like the Scorsese thing," And I was trying to think who was the directors of like the B Skinamax type movies back in the day, and I was like, "Oh, this is like a Jim Wynorski." I'm like, "Oh, this is like Jim Wynorski style, whatever." But I didn't like Swerve's promo.
So you say Swerve's promo.
I didn't like the content of his promo. I liked the fire. I liked the moment of the two of them together. I liked Swerve trashing his kids. Oh, I'm so mad he's trashing my kids. I can't do a Stuttering John impersonation, but
Thank God.
the fact that Swerve comes out, and I get there was the bit where he says, like, oh, to win this title, I had to get rid of all my friends. And they tried to position the camera in a way so that you could see Nana in the background. Like, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what about me? Like, what am I? Chopped liver, right? Like, just to plant that seed, whether it means anything or not. But, like, they said, like, he got rid of the Mogul Embassy wrestlers. But, no, they turned on him.
Yep.
Right? So they're changing that narrative.
Well, not all of them. They just eliminated Trench and fucking Parker.
Oh, well.
Oh, what if? What if, under the mask, Hector Cerro is really Trench?
Oh, Jesus.
What if?
I think we'd know, but
I'm just saying, we don't know nothing. It could be anyone under that mask. So he then says, he's like, oh, I sacrificed everything to be the world champion. And even if I lose the world championship, I still got my clothing line. I still got my music career. I still got my podcast. And I'm just like, podcast? Get the fuck out of here. Where Will Ospreay has sacrificed everything, and then he's got nothing if he loses the title shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess. But the idea of it was, I think, was to try to have a clear heel and babyface delineation in this match. And if Swerve plays slight heel in the lead up and doesn't do like a full heel turn, I think you're okay. Yeah. As opposed to having like kind of a mixed reaction, which they're going to have anyway. But at least it'll give Swerve an excuse to play heel in the match that you've already established it with these promos and everything else. I just didn't like the material of his promo.
So does Ospreay being like the I don't need the Callis family, does that lead to that turn and them costing in the match?
I think that's definitely their way out, because it's the first time they've mentioned him being in the Callis family since like he signed. Like right after he signed, they stopped mentioning it.
No, okay,
or shortly after.
It's the first time that Ospreay has mentioned it.
Yeah.
They've had Ospreay matches where Don Callis is on commentary, and he's like, "Oh, he's the crown jewel of the Don Callis family," and blah 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 blah. Like, you don't accompany him out to the ring. You're never seen together. Oh no. After he killed Danielson, Don Callis was in his corner a bunch of times saying like, "Oh, come on, his neck's already been broken once about Roddy Strong," right?
Yeah, yep.
So that was the last time actually that they mentioned it. Was at that pay-per-view. But yeah, I think it was, and again, man, I fucking Don, and then Don Callis comes in, and they do the bit where he goes and he approaches Rushino, and the way that camera thing was shot, where like you see the hand come in, and we're supposed to know like, oh, we've seen that hand in the bracelet
Don
before.
Callis' hand. Oh my
God, Don Callis' hand. I'm like, I knew it was gonna be Don Callis any fucking way, but don't like play this thing as like Don Callis is this memorable character with so many intricate things of his character that just by seeing his bracelet, his iconic bracelet. Fuck off, Don Callis. Fuck you.
I'm not gonna know somebody by their bracelet unless I have like a recap like video to explain it. You know,
we're gonna have the Ultimo Guerrero video on Rampage tonight.
TK pronounced.
If only we could time cop ourselves ahead Friday to watch Rampage, which was taped yesterday, so that we could see the Ultimo Guerrero video. So that when we go tonight, we know who Ultimo Guerrero is, so that when we time cop ourselves to Saturday,
right.
So people always talk about TK with the time cop thing. And they just say, oh, TK mentions about TimeCop. But somebody online last night actually recorded the whole TimeCop speech, and they even put the poster for TimeCop up on the screen when TK's talking about it.
Oh my God.
And it's very funny to hear TK talk about his analogy for TimeCop and the taping and so forth.
That's perfect.
I mean, it is a great movie. So
It is. Ed, sorry that we get to see Okada and you didn't. Sorry, buddy. He's upset about that.
I just got a picture of the call sheet, either the shit list backstage, and somebody wrote on the shit list next to Okada's match, Baba Chops.
we are close enough to Bartonsville.
That's true. He's gonna have PTSD in that fucking ring. That's what's gonna happen. All right.
Did anything happen on Collision last week?
It's worth.
Christian came out and they did the bit.
The Father's Day special.
Special, and and Christian cut the promo of I need to get back to the world title by winning the trios title. Okay?
It's the next logical step.
Right. But it was just, and then they laid out House of Black, Buddy Murphy backstage to end the show.
Do we get confirmation that he's actually hurt?
We don't know.
Yeah,
I kind of took it as he was not hurt because him leaving, quote unquote, hurt is what sets up Christian and his goons taking him out.
Yeah.
Right. So if he wasn't hurt, why would he be back there to get taken out?
That's true.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people going, if that was on the fly booking, great job. And we're like, come on, relax.
The other thing we forgot from Collision was, obviously everyone's kind of Malachi Black might be washed, right? Mm-hmm. And then there was the clip of him doing the up and over and then slowly taking a few steps and doing a kick. Mm-hmm. And people are like, he's never been better. And I'm like, I don't know, he's been better. I've seen him better. It's fine. I like Malachi Black just fine.
No problem
I didn't notice what socks he was wearing for the match, so I don't know what spooky lore I'm supposed to believe for the match. What else happened? And then
I was gonna say it's a shame he doesn't go. He hasn't gone back to WWE yet. Which one of the Wyatt Six would he have been?
Well, he'll be the sixth one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He'll be Uncle Hoodoo or something. And then did the CML people beat Blackpool Combat Club on Collision too?
I think that was last week, maybe?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Was that last week?
Because they did a rematch. They did another one on Collision with them all, right? Or no?
No, I think it was... Hold on, I might have notes here. Look at that, me taking notes.
I have notes, I'm just driving.
Blackpool Combat Club. They beat Leo Rush, Rocky Romero, and TMDK.
Oh, okay.
Sorry again,
right.
Ed.
And Dwicky.
Yeah, poor TMDK. Oh, yeah, because that's where Mox cuts the promo on Naito, and he's like, this time I'm not going to beat you, I'm going to kill you. And everybody's like, why are you taking it to that fucking level, dude? Chill out a little bit. What else we had? The bunkhouse match, Deonna Purrazzo, Thunder Rosa. Shout out Thunder Rosa wearing proper bunkhouse gear.
The table run was the only cool thing.
I thought that was cool.
Match.
Yeah.
Match exceeded expectations with the people involved.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It just the table run is really cool. That's about it.
Yeah.
And I know we're all over the place. Dynamite last night when they did the bit where Tony Storm was going to do the big ass spot into the table.
Oh yeah.
And they moved. I swear to God, at one point I thought Tony Storm might have run the razor on her ass to sell going through the table with no one there, and I'm like, oh, that would have been like next level, like
she's
her ass
selling an
bleeding.
injured ass.
Yes.
Yes, tape it up.
Yes,
a forehead is one thing, but you do not damage those kind of goods, you know what I mean?
She has a Lloyd's of London policy out on her ass, and if she doesn't, I do.
Yeah,
so.
you don't run the risk of that ended up looking like Dusty Rhodes' forehead. That's
hell yeah.
Did you? I know some people don't like it. Did you see Bullet Club Gold on RJ City's deal on Sunday?
Yeah, I watched it. I liked it a
I
bunch.
forgot to watch it.
Oh, my
I saw
goodness.
the clip of Juice licking RJ City.
Licking his eye.
What a fucking crazy man.
What a maniac. I love it.
Oh, he's so awesome.
Brett and DJ, where do you fall on the fact that they announced that Juice is not 1/4 of the Trios champions officially?
I think it's bullshit. I think it's an injustice.
Right.
I'd like to know who made this decision.
Yeah, because that's what it was, because somebody beat that version of Bullet Club on Collision, maybe.
It was House of Black.
That's what it was.
Okay. If Jay White's not here, the title can't be on the line. Or whatever.
Okay.
And I think that's bullshit because I want the Freebird rules so bad in professional wrestling.
I want the Bullet Club Gold, Bang Bang Gang, whatever, to re-record a cover of I'm a Bang Bang Gang and what's your excuse? Where they all just do the Michael P.S. Hayes and Jimmy Jam Garvin dances, you know, especially Juice.
I love that man so much. I hope we get to see him tonight. You would think they're colliders.
They're the Collision Cowboys. We're going to have to see.
That's true.
You know, as we record this, we're an hour away from doors opening. And we don't have a ton announced so far for tonight.
Yeah, all we have is Okada Ultimo Guerrero.
Right.
Jericho and Big Bill against, what's their names? Private Party.
Yeah, I hope Jericho decides to, like, not show up or they just replace him in the match or something.
Ospreay, Brian Cage.
Yep.
Which that should be fun, you know, if Brian Cage is, like, motivated.
Brian Cage delivers. He's just, like, he's kind of pigeonholed as, like, a goober, you know?
Yeah, you're right. There's really, I didn't see anything else announced.
No, nothing else announced.
Kind of going in here a little bit more blind.
All we have is Will Ospreay and Okada.
And Ultimate Guerrero.
And Jericho.
Darn.
We almost had a perfect Dynamite. It was almost Jericho free.
Yeah.
I was, when they announced Danielson Shingo, and they're like, Shingo's in the States, I started freaking out. I'm going, we're getting Danielson Shingo on Collision. And unfortunately, we're not.
I think it's cool that it's on the pay-per-view.
I do too.
I would have rather have seen it live today.
Could you imagine? Oh, it's so fucking cool.
Now, they did announce the bracket for the Owen.
Oh, baby.
And we already got Pac advancing over Claudio.
Yeah.
They're going to take on the winner of Danielson versus Shingo. What's the other non-mystery match?
Jay White it wasn't Jay White Mark Briscoe, was it?
I don't think so.
I know it was Jay White. I just don't know who he's facing.
I don't know. I got to look it up. But one of the other matches that was announced was a mystery person taking on JEFF JARRETT Jeff Jarrett, the world's greatest singer.
My world.
The world's greatest entertainer. And we're going to get Danielson versus Double J, by the way. That's the finals. That's why they're on the opposite sides of the brackets.
It is very odd that they have the wild card be the first time that a wild card ever loses in the opening round, because when they face Jarrett.
Ray Phoenix versus Jay White.
Okay.
I just pulled it up here.
Okay.
Not to take anything away from the women's thing, but like it's very clear, like there's the one side of the brackets where they're going to do Chris and Willow.
Yeah.
Mariah May is going to get her win back off Saraya.
Yeah.
And then one would assume that you're going to get Mariah winning that whole thing to do her and Tony at Wembley.
Yeah,
right.
That would make sense.
Yeah. And so a lot of people, and again, I know, whatever, I think Meltzer shot it down, but a lot of people were speculating that it was going to be Hangman as the mystery person against Double J.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'll say this. Listen, so yes, do I think the finals are going to be Double J versus Bryan Danielson? 100%. Because if I don't believe it, then it won't happen.
I agree.
So I have to believe that it's going to happen. That being said, fuck everyone who's like, why is Jeff Jarrett in this tournament? This is the work rate tournament. I don't care if him and Owen Hart were best friends up until the day of his fucking death.
Yep.
Well, if they were such good friends, how come he wasn't in it last year? I don't fucking know. Ask Tony Khan. Yeah. Ask Tony Khan why he wasn't in it last year. Yeah.
Oh.
But I think Jeff being in it is cool. Whoever it would be very funny. It won't be, but it would be very funny if it was Double J versus Billy Gunn, and Billy Gunn was the mystery person, and we're bringing it back to 1999, motherfuckers.
That's right.
That's so awesome.
I'm just trying to think who else from that era, I wish that Edge didn't fuck himself up. I have a feeling that was probably what that match was going to be if Edge didn't fuck himself up, because it was going around yesterday that Owen's last match was a house show. It was Edge and Christian versus Double J and Owen.
Yeah. Wow.
The Saturday before the pay-per-view. And, obviously Edge is like one of the only few guys that's left from that era that's still an active competitor. And I think Jeff and Edge only had like 2 singles matches in their entire WWE lining up. Like they had tags and whatever else, but there was a singles match where Edge won the Intercontinental title from Jeff on a house show. And then Jeff won it back the next night on a pay-per-view. Or a TV or some shit like that. But I don't know. Jeff Jarrett versus Bryan Danielson. I think Jeff should put Danielson over, but then we get the money match. I'll say this: if this is just a reward for Double J doing all the press that he did last year, he was the only one who went over to the UK and did press.
Only one,
right? So if this is his reward, and it gets to be Double J versus Swerve, Double J versus Ospreay. Again, multiple dream matches out of this. Double J against literally, Double J versus Okada. Whoever it is.
Hold on one second. This dude's going to fall into the fucking road behind us there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Look at him. Look at him in the mirror. He's fucking tweaking out.
I thought I saw him stumbling
there he
before.
goes.
Did he go down?
An interesting neighborhood.
Oh, go down,
He looks fine, Joe.
He looks fine.
I can't see
he's
him.
recovered.
Oh,
he's good. Never mind. False alarm.
Damn it.
False alarm. Minor sunstroke.
I love when people fall.
Sorry.
Lock
Anyway.
the doors.
Sunstroke.
Damn it. Yeah, we're about, a minute away from
Just
the arena?
about. Apparently.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, one thing that I have to mention here is, obviously this is the joint show of At Odds with Wrestling, We Need Wrestling.
Yes.
And there is no pay-per-views this weekend.
Oh.
So there is homework to assign.
And
I'm calling an audible.
Uh-oh.
We're not going to watch that episode of Thunder, Adam, unfortunately.
Oh, shucks.
Instead, we're going to watch, from 2 weeks ago, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Despy Invitational, which sees Dragon Kid and Starlight Kid taking on El Desperado and Mima Shimoda. Daisuke Sakai, Doki. Is that how we pronounce it?
Yep, Doki.
It rhymes with Choki because it's finished with the Doki Choki.
Violento Jack and Ida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Hiromu Takahashi and Jun Kasai taking on Minoru Suzuki and Taiyuki Ieki.
Yep.
Chris Brooks, El Phantasmo, Mao, and Mashiya Takeda. Masashi Takeda in a four-way hardcore match. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Hikaru Sato. And then in the main event, Dick Togo and Gato taking on Daishoku Dino and a mystery partner.
Yes.
We'll just say it that way.
Yeah.
Daishoku Dino.
Don't.
No. Say who he was.
Let Adam experience.
Okay.
This.
Brett and DJ talked about it last week.
Yes.
There will be no Japanese discussion on our edit of this week's episode.
Right.
There will be Japanese discussion on the We Need Wrestling version of it.
Correct.
But I will, get this show to you, Adam, to watch this. The boys sold me on it. I heard them talking about it. I'm like, I want to watch this show.
It's my show of the year.
I have 19 goddamn TV shows I have to watch every fucking week for the comic book show. So how could I work this show into what I watch? I know. I'll just have to be the homework this week. So
Perfect.
Pivot.
Now, the WCW probably would have been a lean hour and 20 minutes. How long is this Japanese show?
Like 3 hours.
Oh,
3
my
hours.
God.
3 hours.
Can we spread it out over 2 homeworks?
No.
Nope.
God damn it.
It is only 5 matches.
Yeah, that's all.
It's a lot of entrances.
Yeah.
You could probably skip the
Yeah, you can
entrances.
skip the entrances and stuff.
If you want to go bell to bell, I'm not going to say no. But if there are promos on the show, you do have to watch the promos.
Yes.
All right.
Adam, you love Japanese wrestling.
I do. I love it. It's just I don't want to watch it again is the problem. I just didn't take notes the first time.
Should know it by memory then.
Yeah.
Going here, right?
VIP event parking.
That's in that little lot, right?
I don't know. All right. Well. Event
in.
parking. All right.
There you
Cool. All right. Well, we're about to park, I guess. So.
Sure.
There's people selling Double J bootlegs in the parking lot here.
It's Double J himself.
There's a
How dare you.
7-Eleven. I want to go to that 7-Eleven.
Cash.
Yeah, we got cash, brother.
What's it, 10?
All right. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So,
I think we'll pick it back up and we'll
we'll be
talk
back.
about the show.
yeah, we'll be
absolutely.
back in a few hours, I think.
Yeah.
So, see y'all then. Hey, we're back.
Hey, it's like we never left.
Yeah,
Back again.
post Ring of Honor / Collision / Rampage / Ring of Honor taping. what was it, like 4 hours?
It was over 4 hours because it started before 7.
It did, yeah.
And then it ended a little after 11 with all the post-show shenanigans.
How we feeling, everyone? We wrestled out, or we wrestled filled?
I think it was just the right amount of wrestling. I think every time I was out, they pulled me back in for some reason.
Yeah. What? All right, Adam. What was your highlight of the evening?
I mean, you can say Ospreay or Okada or Orange Cassidy multiple times. You can even say like Mariah May and Toni Storm, but I think it's because once again fate has reunited myself with Sky Blue.
Fate.
Just
That's what it
inches
is.
away, just almost within grasp, if you will.
Is fate what the F in PFA stands for?
I put
I'm not
the
sure.
F in PFA. Guys, can you explain my genuine reaction? Because obviously we had no idea who most of the people that were going to be at this were.
Yeah.
And like her music hit. Like I was not doing a silly little bit. That was genuine from the
You
heart.
don't do bits.
I don't do bits.
You're not a bit guy.
I'm bit free since 2023.
when we were out of the concourse and we bumped into the Scottie Pippen of Azrael Action Figure Collecting.
Yes.
He had mentioned. He goes, oh, yeah, he said, because they were watching, because I have the whole card here, we can run it down and everything else like that.
TK's not going to sue us for spoiling his next 3 weeks of television.
Nah, I think we're okay.
You have to just give the TimeCop explanation, and it's worth
Right,
it.
right. So he mentions, like, during the Mark and Kyle match for the Ring of Honor thing, he goes, I was sitting there next to Sky, and we were both freaking out. I go, oh, is she wrestling tonight? And he goes, oh, yeah, she's on Rampage. And I'm just like, I ain't saying nothing. I told these guys. But I leaned over and I go, if Adam hears me, it's okay, but I don't want to tell him, but Sky Blue's wrestling tonight.
Yeah, no, I did not know.
Yes.
When her music hit, that was genuine, heartfelt
your
reaction.
Your jaw dropped, for real.
Your jaw dropped, you perked up.
I asked. I was like, is this my Make-A-Wish? Am I dying? Because this is awesome.
You were standing at attention,
Yes.
sir.
Well, and it was one of the better matches of the night,
Yes.
too, actually.
Her and Queen Amidala?
Amidala.
Sorry, getting her confused with episode 1. They beat the shit out of each
They
other.
really did.
And they came out, and Sky Blue comes out, and DJ's like, who the hell's it going to be with what we've seen tonight?
Right.
Again, we're going to run down the whole card.
Yeah.
He goes, we're like, it literally could be anyone.
Anybody.
I think that they were, with it being Forbidden Door season, they were like, well, we were going to have Ishii versus Kingston in this spot,
Right.
so let's just have Sky and Queen do that match.
We have the match laid out. And when Queen Aminata comes out, and I said to DJ and Brett, I go, oh, this will be good. I go, they'll just beat the shit out of each other. And it's a cold match. They don't have a program on TV
That we know of. By the time that airs, there might be.
Right, because this is next week's Rampage.
Yeah.
Right.
And they set it up, and they just beat the shit out of each other.
It was wild.
Tons of stupid bumps, crowd outside the ring brawling, suplex off the stairs onto the floor, dives, all sorts of crazy things. And then the finish was Aminata just blasting Sky Blue with a headbutt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the only holy shit chant of the night was during that match.
And Adam, if anyone would know, it's you.
Yes.
Is Sky Blue not spooky anymore?
I don't know if we've seen Sky Blue much since Julia Hart went away.
No, so she had the match. She had the match with Mercedes Moné.
Yeah,
after the pay-per-view, where she'd addressed her spookiness and attacked her in the dark.
And then an hour later,
they burned that program off. You're right.
Yeah.
She hasn't been on television since then.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really tell what kind of makeup she had on. I was not looking in that direction.
Gotcha.
It was just
regular makeup.
Just blue.
Yeah, so she didn't have spooky makeup. No. She wasn't wearing the crown. She just had a T-shirt on, like a merch store T-shirt. So I mean, maybe the spookiness is subsiding. They got a cease and desist from Uncle Howdy. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. That could be true.
There was an Uncle Howdy sighting at the arena, though.
I'm so upset.
We did see Wolfpack Sting.
Wolfpack
Sting. Yeah.
Saw lots of people. Bumped into Matt Turner from Stardom Podcast.
Yeah.
Bumped into a fan of the podcast.
It was a fan of you.
Wow.
He's like, Joe Sposto, love at odds, and then you point at me, and he's like, oh hey, that guy too, I guess.
Oh, hey, guy.
So
I love you and that co-host of yours.
So I meant, obviously, we could, I don't know if you guys want to talk about finishes, but like I think we can run down the whole card and talk about like the entire experience, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we open up with, now again, it said that it was supposed to start at 7, and it was like maybe like 5 to 7 it started, and they had Ring of Honor stuff up, and I don't know if there's going to be like part of the Ring of Honor taping, but it was Dark Order, Johnny Silver, Alex Reynolds, who's now Sexy Alex Reynolds for some reason.
I think they announced that as a bonus match.
Oh, right,
yeah.
right. And Evil Uno taking on Austin and Colton Gunn and, the king of the world, the world's most handsome man, Juice Robinson.
Yeah, Juice way over at Allentown, brother.
Juice did so much in this match for such little payoff. He was doing like 10-minute sequences that just ended up with him getting shit canned out of the ring.
He was running around the ring like a Muppet, waving his hands above his head.
He really is the best.
Now, and again, my mind, because we get so much wrestling now, have we ever got Juice Robinson versus Mark Briscoe at any point in time?
I don't think we have.
Because I think that's a match that that's like too much handsomeness, too much yelling, too much like flailing, too much shenanigans.
Yeah.
Like that's a match that we definitely need at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
So my only problem with this match was, like, obviously it was supposed to be the Bang Bang Gang, Bullet Club Gold, whatever the fuck. Like, they're clearly supposed to be the heels.
Yes.
But they got, like, a big reaction because they were, like, they're regulars on TV.
Yep.
Right.
So the crowd is going to cheer for whoever the first people they see that are normal TV people.
Yeah, for sure.
And Dark Order were heels last time they were on main, like, AEW television. So that's...
Yeah. And they've been on Ring of Honor TV as baby faces and... whatever, but again, it's Ring of Honor, so, who really knows?
Yeah.
So the next, we had Mark Briscoe defending the Ring of Honor World title against the TV champion, Kyle Fletcher.
That's right.
Boo, hiss.
This is a really good match.
Adam had to get restrained for the first time from jumping over the barricade.
Yes.
Yeah. He knows what he did.
This was a very good match, though. This was a good matchup.
Yeah.
It suffers a bit from, I think, what most wrestling does now, in AEW in particular. You knew there was, nothing was changing hands here.
Right.
But these guys can both wrestle. Fletcher is very, very good. And Briscoe is always super impressive. He's been such an impressive wrestler for 25 years.
And he's handsome.
It's a wild.
He was making lots of stupid faces when he was selling. That was really good.
Yeah.
And I finally got to check off, see a Ring of Honor show. Off of my bucket list. Because I've never been to a Ring of Honor show, and this counts.
Was it at the Rexplex? Was it the Murphy Rec Center?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I saw a Ring of Honor World title defense. That's all that matters.
True.
You don't have to explain how in
You
the
saw
circumstances.
most of the titles. You saw the
the
pure title, the tag title.
Wow.
None of the ladies' titles.
And technically, wasn't the trios was like a proving ground? Well, I don't know. It was something at the beginning. That was Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that was. That's. Jeez.
Yeah, the trios are all combined. Yeah,
So then we got what they announced as. So everything kind of is going to be like, this is the order in which it was like filmed.
Yeah.
They did say that this was going to be the main event for Rampage Collision this week, and they said TV time remaining, and it was Ospreay against Brian Cage.
Oh, I didn't even notice
I
that.
didn't pick that up.
Yeah. They said it was the main event, and they said TV time remaining. This was good. Ospreay, for the collision, I think it was a good spot to have him out early.
Yeah, of course.
He might be over.
Yeah, he might be over.
Yeah.
He's really good. Good connection.
That kid might have something.
Right.
He gave Cage a really good fucking match.
Yeah, and I was saying, Cage just needs to be Mortis.
Yes.
Cage did like a couple, like he always does cool shit in his matches. And he did like a new thing where he did like that little like rope walk, fall away slam thing off the top rope.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. And again, if he's done that before, maybe I've just never seen it. But like seeing it live was pretty impressive because he's
I thought it was cool.
He's such a big motherfucker. Like he should just be Mortis. Wear the Mortis gear, wear the Mortis outfit, merch, shirts, and he could do all the cool shit. And then people don't have to be like, oh man, why aren't they pushing Brian Cage? Like when you're a character, like a Mortis type character, nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
They just want to see you do cool shit, right? And that's what he wants to do is do cool shit. So I don't know.
I agree.
Or they could do both. Like he could be Brian Cage and Mortis, and even though he has a very distinct body type, and you could very easily tell who he is, just like never acknowledge that he's two different people. That it's the same guy playing two different characters.
And then you could demand double the pay.
Yes.
And use code Mortis to sign up for Jerry's Internet Wrestling Emporium. Tell him We Need Wrestling sent you.
No.
The show that doesn't have heat with the network.
Oh, my goodness.
With the streaming network.
Well...
I've known Jerry a long time. I think there's some heat probably rolled up in there somewhere.
Nah, listen, so I guess we could. So,
go ahead, next.
So what do you guys want to talk about?
What do you want?
No, listen, I got no problem saying it because I said it on the show like a year and a half ago when there was a mass exodus of promotions from Jerry's Internet Wrestling Emporium. I was told by multiple people that the reason that they were leaving was they weren't getting paid a ton, right? They didn't like their deals. They tried to renegotiate their deals, whatever it was. They didn't like what the deals were, so they left, right? Yeah. So Mike Burns, someone who I've known for a very long time, he's the guy who runs Smart Mark Video. Apparently he didn't like the statements that I made on the podcasts a year and a half ago. And when we pulled up in the parking lot, he was the first person that we saw.
Well, he held on to that shit.
And listen, I can't be upset about it because, like, he definitely came up to me in a confrontational manner, but he wasn't yelling and he really wasn't in my face about it.
Yeah,
he was just like, "Oh, you said a bunch of shit about me on the podcast," but he seemed confused because, obviously, Longbox is the hosting site and it's We Need Wrestling.
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I said that. I think I remember it's a long time ago."
Yeah.
I go, if it was a problem, why didn't you say something sooner? He goes, because I wanted to say it to your face. I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he said it to my face, and that was it. And then, he was fine. He did go brag off to Mantis that he told me off. Because I got the text from Mantis about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Whatever. Like I said, listen, I talk a lot of shit. And, again, I don't do it from a place of anonymity. It's not like I'm hiding behind a potato filter or using a fake name or something like that. My name is Joe Sposto. It's out there on the internet. You know who I am. Obviously, the pandemic kind of locked us up a bunch, but, it's not like I tried to avoid people, you know?
Right, sure.
I'll take the shit that I'm deserved. But, like I said, I talked to Jerry, and, Jerry never said nothing to me about it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think Burns was a little hyped up out of another almost confrontation at the exact same time.
Well, I was again, Jerry. Fuck. Jerry was legitimately worried that there was going to be an issue if that other person showed up.
Right.
So the heat was off me.
Yes, exactly.
And during all this time, myself, Brett, and DJ were wondering why Mikey Whipwreck was just hanging out outside the arena.
Giving people, handing out tickets. What the fuck
he went into the will call, got his tickets, and came out. Was like, anybody want 2 tickets?
Yeah.
And he handed 2 tickets, and, the people he handed tickets to did not know that was ECW legend and former trainer of Adam.
You should have went up to him.
Mikey Whipwreck.
Because I was in the line for the will call tickets probably when that happened.
You were.
Once again, 2 ECW originals right there in the parking.
Oh my god.
So, back to the show.
Yes.
Next we had a 6-man, which was Samoan Joe, Hook, and Shibata taking on the Premier Athletes. They set that up on TV last week.
They did.
But they never got a graphic or nothing, and I forgot that Arya Daivari was part of the group. And then when they announced that it was going to be a 6-man, I'm like, oh, is Marky going to wrestle? And no, I forgot that Arya Daivari was in there. I really liked, or not Arya Daivari, Josh Woods, because Josh Woods has been off TV for a while. And Nice and Daivari had been doing tag stuff. I thought the bits during the match of Shibata and Josh Woods were really cool.
I did too.
It was mat wrestling, but a struggle.
Yeah.
And I always like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I like Shibata walking away from the dive and Samoa Joe just being so proud of him for doing so.
Like a proud father, even though I think Shibata is 2 years younger than Joe.
Yeah.
Those Samoans have certain powers.
So we had a backstage thing that they showed us of Juice Robinson and the Guns upset that while Jay White is training for the Owen,
That's right.
That they should allow Juice to defend the 6-man titles.
I agree.
Right, I agree.
Then we got the tag match with Tony Storm and Mariah May taking on Layla Hirsch and Lady Frost.
Adam's first heart palpitation of the evening.
Yes.
I thought I was peaking right there. If only I'd known what was to come.
Brother, you hadn't even begun to peak.
Right. Something was peaking. It was just there was enough people around that it didn't become a problem.
Really unrelated. We need to work in a Blue Chew sponsorship for some reason.
No. Is there something that's another generic dick pill that's not Blue Chew?
I don't know. I'll look at the gas station.
All right. Like, we're sponsored by Truck Stop Dick Pill.
Right, exactly.
Truck stop.
I'm not going to mention any names.
But a certain lawyer of ours,
a certain life coach of ours. We've seen. I don't think I can do it.
He may have popped a gas station dick pill once.
Just because?
Just hang out. Just hang out.
Let's see how this works out for you guys.
Did you just keep pointing at it and go,
Spoiler, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
It was like 3 parts. One of the pills was like a black ball. It was very weird.
You got the mixture wrong. You got the dosage wrong.
We went to the gas station, and the cashier like comes up to Doug. He's like, "You want that, bro?"
Was Doug eyeballing him like
he was standing near them? Yeah,
licking his lips.
Yeah,
he's asking the clerk, "What do you recommend?
Yeah.
What's a good one?"
Yeah, and the guy's just like very, "Yo, bro, you want that? Works good. You want it?" Doug's like, "Why, sure."
We're going back to my friend's house to watch Return of the Living Dead. What's your best dick?
Speaking of which, from the drop, Tim and Marcus. Tim having to listen to the goddamn shit Undertaker podcast has the drop to end all drops.
It's like steroids for your wiener.
For your wiener. No, steroids that are legal.
Yeah,
for your wiener.
Oh my god.
No, steroids for your wiener. That's how it was, yeah.
Mark has no shame.
The only thing that would have been better is if he said for your pee-pee.
For your ding-a-ling.
Yeah. What would have been more embarrassing of a euphemism for dick for Undertaker to say?
For your birdie.
Yeah, but I think it would have been more distressing. He goes, "Oh, it's like steroids for your cock." I think anything, Undertaker having a penis is distressing to me.
That's true.
Poor Michelle.
He definitely calls it his hog.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Oh, no, okay. I say he calls it his American Badass.
If you don't want to have a thin blue line in your pants, try Blue Chew.
Oh, no.
He definitely calls it like his 9mm or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Michelle, come over and say hi to Mr. Brown.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He is Mr. Anyway.
Okay, bro.
So the ladies' tag match was good.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's going to set up. They announced that there's going to be a 6-woman on Dynamite this week, where it's Tony, Mariah, and Mina Shirakawa taking on whatever the Outcasts are now. Soraya,
Anna Jay,
and Harley Cameron.
Yeah. What a group.
Harley Cameron off TV for a couple weeks. That's why ratings are down.
Right.
And Soraya was doing some social media posting with her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, again, trying to push to have that shit band play her to the ring.
Yep.
It's good. I heard they're going to do it at the Cleveland taping for AEW. It's going to be, who did we say on the way down? I forget. Shane McMahon and Ronnie Radke at the AEW Cleveland taping.
Oh, poor Ed.
put them on the poster.
Call Sean Ross Sapp. Tell him we got the scoops. When we get to it, we'll get to it. So then there was a backstage with Top Flight, Action Andretti, and Leo Rush. Might be a spoiler for Rampage this week, but it's going to air on Collision, so it's okay.
Fightful reported Leo's a regular again.
Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing him a lot more.
He doesn't. They said that he doesn't have a contract, but he's going to be a regular.
Yeah.
I like Leo Rush.
Yeah, listen, as long as he doesn't have his spooky black rocks, we're okay.
Yep, it's the worst shit.
Unless they bring in, what's his face? OG Kevin Gill to do the commentary for it and explain the spooky black rocks. Then we had the Iron Savages, all 3 of them. Yes. And I keep forgetting there's a third one.
Yeah, he's like a player coach. Like he manages and wrestles.
Taking on the Patriarchy, which got like a huge baby face pop.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
Right. And they do a fun bit during this match.
The Titty City? Oh.
No, the Patriarchy do a fun bit.
Oh.
No spoilers. But again, we're getting a bunch of 6-mans of like getting 6-mans wins, right? Joe, Shibata, and Hook. Patriarchy, we're seeing a lot of stuff like that, you know, so I'm hoping to see a renewed focus on the 6-man titles.
I agree.
With that sort of thing. So next we had Jericho and Big Bill taking on Private Party.
Those chicken fingers were delicious.
Good chicken tendy break.
I ran into my buddy Derek. I ran into our friend, the Scottie Pippen of Azrael Action Figure Collecting. And I guess there was a bit there to set up a match for Forbidden Door as well.
Yes.
Best part is myself, Brett, and DJ were eating the aforementioned chicken nuggets and chicken tendies, sorry. And I guess an employee came up to us or walked by. He's like, "You guys are missing a Chris Jericho match." And we're like, "That's kind of the point."
Yeah, we're good, man. Thanks.
And none of us went double tendies, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because we went to the bathroom first, and it was a long line for the men's room there, and I'm like, "Oh, a long line for the men's room there." And the guy in front of me goes, "What do you expect? This Chris Jericho match?" So again, like I said, random sampling, just some random dude says that to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means. Then we got a Serena Deeb promo that felt more like a threat than anything else.
What was the Jericho match set up for Forbidden Door?
Yeah, it's Jericho's Learning Tree against Joe Shibata and Hook.
Right.
Yeah. And then you went
barely a Forbidden Door.
You know all those New Japan Pro Wrestling stars.
When Brett said that to us, and you just go, "That sounds like a pre-show match."
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we had Brody King and Malachi Black, who I didn't know was still a wrestler, taking on Leon St. Giovanni, LSG, and some guy who I didn't understand his name, but like on his tights, he had like a target.
Yes.
And it said Moon on one leg and Head or Shot or something.
Moonhead.
Okay. Moonhead? I don't know. I don't know who the guy was. I apologize.
Les Moonves. I think it was. Was it Les Moonves? I think it was Les Moonves.
He kicked you off the air. He kicked you off K-Rock.
It was the guy that Kenneth pitched Gold Case to.
Right.
Anyway,
we've seen the Ace of Space. Is that the LSG guy or whatever?
I think so.
He wrestled Steel Stacks, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be on an upcoming LVAC show.
Okay, yeah, we've seen him before. He wrestled Steel Stacks.
Yeah, he's good. He was like a tail end of Ring of Honor guy.
Yeah.
Before the sale.
Did he team up with Mantequilla?
Oh yes, Montequilla. He did team up with Montequilla, I believe.
There you go.
So after the tag match there with Malachi Black and Brody King, Ian Riccaboni makes an appearance and interviews the House of Black members on the stage. It was a nice thing to get Ian out there in front of his hometown crowd, you know.
Right, and Ian did like the baseball game and stuff, so he's been doing a lot of press for this show.
Good for you.
He's someone who is very proud of his Allentown/Lehigh Valley roots.
Absolutely.
Ian Riccaboni, too good for the world of professional wrestling, I would say.
He's got good opinions on movies.
Yeah, he was at the LVAC show, and then him and Dasher ended up calling one of the matches.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where, he showed up, he came over, he said hi to everybody, and he's like, "Do you mean to do anything tonight?" Like, he's asking me at the LVAC show. I'm like, "You want to call a match?" And he's like, "Sure." I'm like, "All right, there you go." So then next we had Hechicero taking on Daddy Magic, Matt Menard.
Super pumped to get Hechicero here. And this sort of start like who are we going to get on this show sort of run. But yeah, Daddy Magic dressed like DDP.
Right. He did the diamond cutter in the match.
Damn right.
Because the thing you have to realize when we're watching this is this. A lot of this was the go home show for Forbidden Door. You're like, this is the Rampage right before.
Well, no, we're not into Rampage yet. This is still Collision.
Well, I'm saying, isn't it like the all right, I take it back.
Yeah, we still got 2 more matches before we get to Rampage.
Well, when we get to Rampage, there's a lot of stuff that's Forbidden Door
silly.
Yeah.
Well, it was confusing though because didn't they say there's not a Collision next week, but then there is a Collision next week? No, so
there's no Collision tape. There's no live Collision.
Oh, okay.
Next week, I think. So we discussed there. Next Wednesday is Dynamite Collision taped together.
Yeah, that's a long fucking night.
Yeah. Right. And then because they taped Rampage for next week here, they can just go from Wednesday to Sunday for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So then we had, I guess, the main event of the Rampage or the Collision tapings, which was that real jerk Okada taking on Ultimo Guerrero.
Sure was. Only
I'm going to watch this match on TV.
Yeah, only two racist things yelled out during this match by the crowd.
Yes.
Good job, Allentown.
And this was the first time that the crowd was really a problem.
Yeah.
And I say crowd, I mean that one guy behind us.
Yeah.
Who thought he was super funny.
He was the crowd comedian.
Yeah.
It's a weird match to run cold like they did. And I know that we're getting a hype video on Rampage or whatever, but we haven't seen that yet. So this crowd was a little cooled off to Ultimo Guerrero, who was wearing a mask.
Barely.
Yeah, but he lost his mask in a mask versus mask match in 2014. So I don't understand why he's wearing a mask. I guess in America it doesn't matter.
So I was told
Yeah.
That he did not bring his mask with him.
Right, because he's wearing it anymore.
So they had to go and get like a replica.
Yeah.
And it was a ill-fitting replica that didn't have laces or anything else like that. And it'll be interesting to see how they shoot around it.
Yeah.
That finished though. They got to leave that in. That was awesome.
Yeah, and obviously, the thing is like similar to with Juice and the Guns coming out to begin the show. They're the first TV people. Okada just looks like a star.
Absolutely.
Right? And we know, the fans know who Okada is. Ultimo Guerrero, like I said, not so much. And I said to these guys, they should have had Okada cut a heel promo on the local sports team to get the crowd against him for that match.
Yeah.
And had like they should have did every dirty trick. Like Ultimo Guerrero comes out wearing like the Phantom's jersey or whatever.
The Iron Pigs jersey or something.
Yeah, something. So then we go to the Rampage taping, and this was interesting. So the Outrunners come out, the oldest men alive,
youngest men alive.
I'm sorry, oldest, youngest, and Bobby Cruz, who's the ring announcer all night. Fuck Justin Roberts.
Yep.
He says the following match is a 2-on-1 handicap match, and then they cut to the Rampage Open, and we're all like, "Who the fuck could it be against?" And we're like, Satnam? We're gonna get Double J? Like, who the hell is it gonna be?
I was thinking like Wardlow or something like that,
Who's it gonna be that's gonna do a 2-on-1 squisher against a semi-established tag team?
Yeah.
And I'll wait for you to read the results and everything else on that one. But I will say that was really good placement of that match because after whatever the fart in church the Okada Ultimo Guerrero match was, we even got TK coming out before that match saying like, "This is the one, everyone. This is the one for the sickos," right?
Yeah.
And then I think the Outrunners versus this person was the real for the sickos match.
Sure was.
Then we got, and this is for Rampage next Friday. We had the Infantry taking on Roderick Strong and the debuting Gabe Kidd.
It was like the music hit and his name came up on the Contron, and I was just so fucking thrown off by it. He just wrestled like a war against Kaito Kiyomiya on like Saturday in Noah.
Right, like he had an incredible match for the GHC title.
Yeah.
in Noah. Now he's here in a random tag team match that didn't make much sense.
Gabe Kidd, the man who doesn't know wrestling's a work. Makes me very happy.
So I just happened to be peeking at Twitter as that happened, as he's making his entrance, and I see that Sean Ross Sapp had tweeted out, rumor is Gabriel Kidd is at the AEW tapings tonight.
Oh, well.
And it was like literally as he's making his entrance, I see that tweet. And I looked at the time of the tweet, and it was like maybe a minute before. So I'm like, well, I guess,
got those scoops.
Scoops, baby, scoops.
Somebody in Gorilla was spoiling it.
Yeah.
It was Okada.
Yeah. Then we got AR Fox taking on El Phantasmo.
Yeah, another one where it just was like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
And ELP out twisted in the wind because he lost Taller Tonga as his tag partner.
Yeah, he's just on his own.
WWE did trademark another Samoan name today.
Yeah, I saw that today. I didn't see what the name was.
Cesar Sikoa.
Oh.
shit.
So they're saying that's going to be, I don't know, whoever it is, Jacob Fatu or whoever's coming in next.
Cesar.
Yeah, so there you go.
I don't know.
Cool. It might be Caesar. I don't know. I read it. I didn't hear it. But,
So then we had Dalton Castle taking on Shingo Takagi. Again, sure, why the fuck not? Rampage.
Sure.
It just turned into a New Japan show randomly.
Yeah, it became like a weird New Japan Strong show because Gabe Kidd is New Japan Strong champion.
Yep.
And then we had the main event of Rampage, what they said was the main event of Rampage, which we already talked about a little bit. The Adam Van Offer match of Queen Aminata taking on Sky Blue.
She definitely offered.
Yes. But the show wasn't over yet because we still had 2 more Ring of Honor matches.
Yeah.
We had Wheeler Yuta and Lee Moriarty in a Proving Grounds match.
Yes,
Yeah.
a pure title Proving Grounds match.
Right. And then we had Matt Taven and Mike Bennett taking on Commander and Grand Metalik.
Ah, yes.
But they just call him Metalik now.
205 Live legend.
Yes.
Now, this I feel okay in spoiling because I don't think this is going to make TV.
Yeah, I think this was just like a let's get to what happens after kind of thing.
So this is also a Proving Grounds match. Taven and Bennett win. And then they start beating down Commander and Metalik after the match.
Yes.
So then the infantry come in to even up the sides. Then the Outrunners come in.
That's right. Second Outrunners bit.
to turn the tide. And then unrelated to anything that happened earlier in the night, Orange Cassidy comes out.
It was so awesome.
So Orange Cassidy comes out and lays out everyone.
Right. Clears the ring.
They do a bit with the Outrunners and Bryce, where Bryce pops his top, gives the Outrunners a double stunner. They stack the Outrunners up in a 69 position on top of each other. OC puts the referee shirt on, and Bryce pins the Outrunners.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the infantry, Commander, and Metalik put Bryce up on their shoulders and walk him around the ring and parade him around the ring. OC starts throwing out friendship bracelets to the crowd.
And guess who caught one?
Adam caught one. He was very happy with himself, and I was very happy for him.
And it's like pitch black, and I one-handed that thing.
Yeah.
I'm rather impressed.
And then like they're like, all right, everybody, thanks for coming out, so on and so forth. Oh, and we did get the TimeCop speech from TK.
Yeah,
I thought we weren't gonna get it.
I was very happy about this.
I was very happy, and it was one of those things where, like, TK's like, does anybody know what my favorite movie is? And we're all like idiots. TimeCop! Because it's TK lore, man.
Yeah,
You know?
hell yeah.
And it's a great movie. So.
It is.
All right,
It is a great movie.
Let's not go crazy.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you're going to call an audible and make me watch a 4.5 hour long New Japan show, I might call an audible and make you watch TimeCop.
I had to watch. I told you when you were at the house. So I watched Dylan Dog Dead of Night for Longbox Patreon this week.
Is that the one with Superman?
Superman and Kurt Angle is in it.
Oh, okay.
Kurt Angle plays the third villain. There's a head of the vampires, a head of the werewolves, and then a second command of the werewolves.
Okay.
Kurt Angle plays second in command of the werewolves.
Oh, my God.
All right.
And this was like 2009, 2010, so it was like prime Perk Angle, you know? But yeah, so that was the show.
Oh, can I just say that the Outrunners laid out in the ring in the 69 position basically stayed there until the entire arena was emptied out.
Yep.
They did. Yeah.
I love that.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Brothers know how to work.
But it was definitely a fun show.
Oh, it was awesome. Tons of
TK
fun.
did say that they're going to come back. We'll see. But if they do, we'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's a
And
ton of fun.
Once again, thank you, Joe.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
No, listen. I just, we all like wrestling. Let's go. Thursday night, we're all out on a school night.
Yeah,
you
we
know.
are. It's past midnight that we're recording this right now.
It's true.
That's right. Anyone else have any other stories or things or whatever from the show or?
No, I mean, I think you ran it down pretty good. That's about it.
I don't want to spoil anything for people because there was I think there's a lot of really good wrestling on this show.
Yeah.
More than I thought there was going to be. Some surprising matches ended up being really good. But yeah, it was just a really good time. And we were close to the action.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had good seats.
Yeah.
No complaints. But like I said, obviously, whatever your opinion, your time, or whatever, definitely watch the main event of Collision.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Or not the main event, the Okada Ultimo Guerrero match,
Okay.
just to see how that ends up getting aired.
Yeah.
Right. And the main event of Collision ends up being Ospreay and Brian Cage, which is a really good match.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then watch all of Rampage next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's... Or no, well, is that... Is that technically the go home for Forbidden Door?
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Is
Yeah.
that's the last Rampage before the pay-per-view.
Because they're taping Collision. Yeah.
It's so fucking wild. What a
Yeah,
wild
but Collision
show.
will still air that Saturday.
Right.
Yeah, all right, so that's the go home.
Yeah,
but the Rampage was
go home
nuts.
weekend.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the Rampage was nuts. It's one of the, depending on how they cut it and what order they put stuff in, like, that would be one of the best Rampages. Like, that was a very good show.
Yep. I assume because they did the opening, the Outrunners match is going to be the opener.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they said that Sky Blue and Aminata was the main event. I assume that's going to be the main event. But everything else, like where it falls in, I wonder if there was like other promos and stuff that get taped that we just don't see because it would spoil stuff that's going to happen on Dynamite this upcoming week.
Yeah.
Or they just haven't gotten around to it
Right.
yet,
Or they
you know?
The only thing, no Double J. I was very sad.
Yeah.
And we didn't get any Owen matches.
Yeah.
No,
None of that. And Yuta being the only Blackpool Combat Club member. Like, yeah.
You got a good reaction, though.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I remember thinking to myself, oh man, it would have been cool to have like Moxley like run by where we're at. But we did get so many people that I was like happy to see. Like, you know, I could joke about Sky Blue or Mariah May or whatever, but like Okada, Ospreay, Juice Robinson,
Yeah, it was fun.
like I've seen Orange Cassidy a dozen times, like even more in LVAC and Indies, but I've never seen him in his new element. Like, there's so many people that I was like, I got to see, you know, them now.
Christian.
You know? Christian,
Samoa
absolutely,
Joe.
Samoa Joe
yeah.
twice, you know.
Yeah.
So like you can say, oh man, I wish we had gotten this person or this person, but I think we got a lot in that like 4 hours.
It's interesting, like how they're trying to figure out Collision still because they just passed the 1 year anniversary, but like we were just at a 4-hour TV taping that didn't have any of like I'd say their top 3 or 5 stars on the show. You know, your Danielsons, your Moxes, your MJFs, like they weren't anywhere.
But you had your Ospreay.
Right, Ospreay's pretty big. He's in the top 5. And Okada's huge.
No Swerve. I'm surprised we didn't have any Swerve.
Yeah.
Right, like so like Collision's very much a show carried by like Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay, and Juice Robinson.
Yeah, I mean Toni Storm's
Storm's
the
huge.
name in women's wrestling, so you got her.
Well, and again, you could argue and say, because like I didn't take a picture of the merch thing, but there was no Tony Storm shirts, but there was definitely a Mercedes Moné shirt.
Yeah, the merch was terrible.
Merch was real bad again. Yeah.
Yeah, what a bummer.
So it wasn't a great selection, but when we were leaving, there was like a ton of people there buying shit at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always big lines and stuff.
And I think if you have fun at a show, you're like, all right, you know what, I want to grab something on my way out to remember it.
I think a lot of people, your average wrestling fan, love the like I was there, you know, sort of T-shirt stuff. So those move. But
yeah.
Going into the building, though, I had mentioned to you guys I was happy to see people in line wearing AEW merch.
Lots of AEW.
Because there was WWE merch and wrestling merch in general, but like the last couple times that we went to AEW, as we were walking by people, there was like hardly any people wearing AEW merch at AEW shows, and I think that speaks volumes for either the poor stocking of their merch or the poor choice of designs that they have in general.
Right.
Which is kind of like a running thing.
Real talk, guys. Can I get away with wearing a Tony Storm shirt that says like the one that's like shoes, tits? You know? Like,
can you?
Yes.
Can anyone else in this car? No.
Or it's like chin, tits, shoes is what all it says.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, Adam? Anything your heart desires, buddy. How about
I
that?
just wanted to make sure I got some approval first.
You live your life.
Then also,
listen, we don't kink shame.
You know what? Wait for a sale. Then you can also get that Anna J fat ass bad attitude shirt as well.
That's just a bad shirt.
And
I
you
wouldn't
can
do
wear
that.
also.
And I'll get the Okada bitches shirt.
There you go. All good ones.
Brett and I also saw an entire family of Ring of Honor. They were dressed head to toe in Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
an entire
so
family,
weird.
Hats, T-shirts.
That's
track
cool.
pants.
They might have won a gift set. You know?
It's for big Honor Club fans. Yeah. I mean, I think that kind of wraps it up, right?
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else to say?
I believe there's a question to be asked.
Oh, that's right. A 2-part question.
If that's allowed.
Yes, if it's allowed.
Are you going to edit in the jingle later when you do your thing? Do you want us to leave
do Ed music. All right. So, Ed's, hey, hi, 2-part question here. What's the worst, most off-putting stipulation match you can think of that doesn't already exist? Shout out Mountain Dew glow-in-the-dark spooky match. Because I have an idea called the Depression Death Match, where it's just a normal death match, but Alex G songs are played the whole time like it's New Jack. They attached a YouTube video. I'm sorry I didn't really listen to it, Ed.
We're not playing it here.
No, yeah, I don't want to get monetized or whatever. So what's the worst, most off-putting stipulation you can think of?
Asking us to come up with a terrible stipulation.
Yeah. So, I don't know if a stipulation match technically could work in today's wrestling, just because the way that wrestling is so far away from that sort of stuff. But I think you can co-opt some older ones, like a Chikara one. There was an early days Chikara one where the winner got to pick the loser's theme song.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then it was DJ Skittles and Blind Rage. Okay. And then Blind Rage had to come out to his new theme song of the Pina Colada song, maybe?
Okay, yeah.
Something like that. An actual real Chikara historian will correct me on this, and I'm more than happy to be corrected on something like this. But I think you have to do a thing where it's an embarrassment to the other person. So then you have, remember, as 123 Kid was leaving World Wrestling Entertainment, and he had the baby bottle match with Razor Ramon?
Yep.
So you can't do a thing where, a guy has to wear a thing, because, then that's, kink-shaming someone.
Yeah, you couldn't make the stipulation that Perry Saturn has to wear a dress in 2024.
Ed's stipulation that he picked of the music that gets played, is that a punishment for the fans? Is that a punishment for the wrestlers?
I think everyone collectively, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, this is wrestling. I'm just real sad during this.
I'll piggyback on Ed's thing and say, how about you do a match where throughout the entirety of the match, Baby Shark plays?
Oh,
how about that?
My God.
And the fans are begging for the match to end, and on every kick out, they're like, no!
Mine, if we're to kind of piggyback off that as well, I'd play I don't know, a Dane Cook comedy album or something, over
someone
the crowd the whole
on
time.
The coats. No, stop!
It's fuck, end this match.
You want people to stay in the arena, so that's gonna chase them right away.
Yeah. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've just in my head invented a reverse lumberjack match where you fight outside. And the ring is full of other people, and they if you get in the ring, they have to throw you out.
Hold on a sec.
I'm pretty sure Russo did
Wait
that.
a minute.
Bro, come on.
Come on, bro. All right, Ed's other part of the question.
This is the second part of the two-parter.
Yes. What's your favorite type of dinosaur? I'll go Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus is a good one. I'm an Ankylosaurus kind of guy, armored with a big bludgeoning tail.
A kink.
Yep.
It's not me going with a generic pick, but I'm going to go T-Rex just because I love Grimlock.
Okay.
All right. Grimlock, no bozo, me king.
Sure.
That's a Transformer.
Okay, yeah, it's a Transformers reference.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jerk.
I know Shockwave.
I do know the Transformers comic is really good. Daniel Warren Johnson has them doing wrestling moves to each other and shit in it.
Shit, that's
really cool.
He's not drawing it anymore though.
No, just this story arc he's not drawing.
Oh, he's coming back after?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. But the artist that they have, and again, we're off on a tangent. We'll get back to your question here, Ed. He draws RC weird.
Okay.
But Ed, other than that, all the other mainline Transformers, he draws in the same style as Daniel Warren Johnson, so it's not so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have him. I'm just behind.
I pick a pterodactyl because, that's the most true to what a dinosaur allegedly is, that, they're birds, they could fly. And, being a dinosaur is pretty cool. Being able to fly is pretty cool. Being a dinosaur who flies, that's, double cool.
That's some dude's rock shit, right?
That is, for sure.
All right. I mean, I guess.
Wait.
What?
Hey.
What?
Did you buy anything?
Oh, did I buy anything? Oh yeah, I pre-ordered the Marvel Legends Wolverine.
Is that the one with the flame claws?
Yeah.
What the hell is?
Yeah. The Helverine, brother.
The unbreakable razor-sharp claws weren't enough. They need to be on fire.
Well, he's possessed by a spirit of vengeance like Ghost Rider. That's why.
Okay.
That's why it's not hot claws.
Yeah. Oh, it's not hot claws.
No,
okay, is it different?
It's flaming claws.
Are
because
none of
he's
you
a
guys
Ghost Rider.
reading Helverine?
No, I'm not.
I guess I'm the only one.
That's my fault, guys.
Comics.
I'm sorry.
Hey, don't comic shame me, damn it.
Yeah.
I didn't buy anything else.
Let me look at your pull list. I'll start making cuts for you like I do for Todd.
He's coming up to the shop on Wednesday to establish a pull list.
Oh my goodness! Now,
This is great news.
Are you going to do a human pull list, or are you going to do it like in quadruplicate and triplicate like I do, where I'm like looking at the solicits 2 months from now? I just went and tracked the solicit and ship dates of the JSA series just to see how fucking late that was.
Yeah.
Very upsetting. But yes, Brett, thank you. One of us.
Yes, I'm in, baby. But other than that, no, I didn't buy anything.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything either.
I didn't buy nothing either. My mechanic's still out of town, so I don't have new brakes on my car, and it desperately needs them. How about you, Adam?
I literally only bought one thing. I didn't want it or need it, but I went to Ollie's and I bought that Then Now Forever 4-pack. It was
there you go.
That was like $30 down from $80. It's the Rocky Maivia, Bad Terry.
I have the Rocky Maivia.
Yeah,
the Becky Lynch
and Stone Cold. Yeah, and it was like I said, $30. I'll sit on it for a couple years and maybe I'll sell it. But I can't resist the deal. What are you gonna do? But that's all I bought, and I got I'm clinking it against the microphone, but you can't hear because there's a pop filter on it. But I got my Orange Cassidy friendship bracelet.
But you didn't buy that.
Yeah, but it was a weekly acquisition.
Oh, okay.
No, that's what it's called now.
That's when you get it for free. But
Jesus Christ.
I'm saving my money for the Zipline Shawn Michaels, the San Diego Comic-Con.
Have they announced any other San Diego exclusives yet?
The only thing I saw, like a Street Shark is getting put
Oh,
out.
okay.
There's been a lot of stuff like on Paternia, but nothing like
nothing
that I care about other than the HBK. But
yeah, who wants to do plugs? Who's doing plugs? Do we do plugs?
Speaking of plugs, I'm going to plug the other shows on the soon-to-be-named network. Those shows include
I thought you were announcing your trip to Turkey there for a second.
No, he's on Collision in 3 weeks.
You guys get me, we could crowdsource this. I'll get a full head of hair.
Just buy a wig.
A good wig, though.
At least Max allegedly had something to work with, and they just kind of fluffed it up. You need to grow your hair fully back so we could see if it's worth. To see what you're working with to see if it's worth crowdfunding you to go to Turkey.
I would look like Perk Angle. I'd have the horseshoe.
Okay, sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome.
Yeah. Rub some dirt on your face, get that 5 o'clock shadow.
You look great.
Take a bunch of these.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Longbox Heroes, After Dark, Porch Talk, We Need Wrestling, Final Wrestling Place, Wings on Wings, and I should have said Final Wrestling Place here.
I need steroids from this doctor.
Right now.
Anabolic steroids is a logical next step.
Steroids are awesome. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm just afraid my heart will explode.
What a legend.
I'll make the announcement here really quick. I think Wings on Wings is going to be off for like a week or two because we're all busy and don't have time to get together and eat wings. So if I could put together some sort of clip show again or something, I will. But there's a chance short summer break from Wings coming the next couple of weeks.
I saw Tatum enjoyed the recap. I didn't listen to the recap because I've already listened to the.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume there was no new material other than like an intro or an outro.
No, I just introduced some of the clips, but that's it.
Gotcha.
Cool. All right, well, thanks, y'all. Thanks for the night again. Tonight was fucking cool. I love going to wrestling shows. So
yeah, go to wrestling, man. When wrestling comes to your town,
go see it.
Go see wrestling. Obviously, you could wait. Whatever WWE's thing is, depending on where you are. You might need to get tickets early. AEW, maybe not. But if there's an indie in your area. Oh, and you know what? There's a good thing to spring on Adam. So I have the boys over a barrel in regards to going to AIW on the 12th, July 12th, whatever that Saturday is for Absolution. And they're willing, and DJ, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
That you and they willing to just go do the show and then drive back that night just take turns driving.
All you had to do was ask. Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, once this weekend is over and everything else like that, I'm going to get tickets. Am I putting you down for one? You want to come meet Dan Spacehausen and whoever else they might be having there?
Van Housen and Dan Housen.
I want to go. I don't want to come back that night.
Oh.
Give me 24 hours to give me an answer on that. All right.
You have to have your answer on the show next week.
Oh, well, I thought you needed to know sooner.
Plenty of time.
Oh, then yeah, perfectly fine. I will reach out to Two Legs and I'll discuss this. He's my Cleveland consigliere. I also want to give this opportunity. Oh, there's that word again. To thank DJ for not only driving tonight, but also setting up this podcast recording studio. And we all have microphones.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm breaking all kinds of laws on this one.
And assuming that Brett didn't screw up the recording, this is an awesome bonus to have on both of our show feeds. Thank you to both of you guys for setting this up.
I love that this worked out.
Yeah. So, I think this has to be a regular thing for any time. Like, even if you guys just go to a show.
Absolutely.
Just fucking
the
bullshit.
two of yous.
The two of yous on the way to a show.
That's true.
I think that's a good idea.
I think you've set a precedent that going to a wrestling show means a road show podcast. So let us know in the Discord, the Soon to Be Named Network Discord, if you think that this was a fun little side trip.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, boys.
Bye.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!